Welcome to the National Stadium in St. George's, Grenada. The conditions is beautiful for cricket as we see the beautiful sights of River Road in the background as we enter the National Cricket Stadium in St. George's. It's a big one. Match number 7 in the NLA GPL T20. St. Andrew the challenger versus St. George. It is a battle between the capital parish and the big parish. It is certainly the scenes is set for what should be a spectacular battle between two powerhouses in cricket here in Grenada. And it's my pleasure this morning to welcome one of my co-commentators, Rafael Crony. Crony, the scenes are beautiful, the sights are beautiful, the songs are beautiful, it's quite still. It is like the calm before a storm. St. Andrew versus St. George.
Well, good morning, Kerry, and pleasant morning to all our listeners or viewers, wherever you are this morning. As you said, it's beautiful down here at the National Stadium. And we are expecting, really a competitive game today. Both teams are undefeated so far. So really, it would be a game we expect that going to be really competitive. I think both teams boast of some players who would have played at the national level. So we expect really a high competitive match today as we get ready to start this very important match this morning.
Yes, so we've had the toss earlier on, and we're now going to go to the toss as to what happened what went on in the middle earlier. We're here at the toss for match number 7 in the NLA GPL T20. It's the big one, the first match of Super Sunday 1, St. Andrew versus St. George. We have the captains with us in the middle. Daniel MacDonald from St. Andrew, Cyprian Forsyth from St. George. We're also joined by the match referee, Andy Noel, and he will now hand the coin over to the home captain for today's match, Daniel MacDonald, who will toss. The call is a head, and it is a tail. It is a tail. St. Andrew, you have won the toss. What's the decision of St. Andrew?
We'll have a bat first.
All right, it's your third game in the tournament. 2 victories on the first 2 weekends. Had a little break, 1 week break, and you're back today. What is the mood like in the camp?
Well, we was training right through, so them fellas active, so it's not like no strange to us, so fellas ready to play.
It's a big matchup, St. Andrew versus St. George. Is excited over this encounter?
Yeah, it's a very big one. Everybody looking out for it, so I'm up to the challenge.
Batting first on what seems to be a good wicket. Those teams who have batted first has had good successes so far. What sort of total you have in mind?
160 plus will be a very good score for us because we're batting really good, so we're looking forward to the batters to put some runs on the board.
All right, in terms of changes to the squad, any changes to the squad from the previous game?
1. Josh Matthew out and Leon Callis in.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel, and all the best to you and St. Andrew. We're now going to have a word with Cyprian Forsyth. Cyprian Forsyth asked to bat first on the wicket asked to bowl first time St. George's is bowling first in the tournament. Is that what you had in mind or something differently?
Now, we were looking to bat first as well, but at the end of the day, cricket is you have to bat and you have to field. So having to bowl first is a new challenge for us. First time we bowling first in the tournament, but still we're going to come out here. We have confidence in our bowlers. We're going to be looking to restrict them to a low score as possible and look to chase it down in the end.
All right. You had a quick turnaround yesterday. You had a victory against St. John, pretty on the easier side. Less than 24 hours, you're back here against St. Andrew. So has been the camp any niggles, or is everybody healthy and ready to go?
No, everyone is healthy. Everyone is excited and pumped and confident for this game. What happened before is gone, and we now have this task at hand.
All right. St. Andrew versus St. George is in any battle coming up. It's always a big one in the past. The guys are excited, and what's in the mood in the camp as we face this encounter?
Well, in T20 cricket, every battle is a big one. You can't take anyone for granted or take them lightly. We have this challenge here today, and we still have to execute in all 3 departments, bowling, batting, and fielding. And we're going to just focus on doing that here today.
All right, thank you very much, Cyprian, and all the best in the encounter.
Thanks.
Just to remind you, the news from the middle, St. Andrew, they have won the toss and have decided to bat. All right, so just to give you some news on the squads for today, as we see the fielders, they are out in the middle, all set for action. St. George, they live in Chad Charles, Tyrone Charles, Kem Charles, Richard Daniel, Nicholas Redhead, Cyprian Forsyth, Johan Jeremiah, Javid Hazard, Daryl Cyrus, Javel St. Paul, and Akim Alexis. It is an unchanged squad from the 11 that played yesterday.
St. Andrews, Teddy Bishop, Jamie Buddy, Shakim Charles, Leon Callis, Sherman Lewis, Anil Matthew, Daniel MacDonald, Donald MacDonald, Darren Ned, Jensen Phillip, and Richard Rogers. At the moment, umpires, we have umpires Mark and also Dicky Chatram as the two umpires.
Yeah, so Crony, as we've been saying, it's a big battle. It's going to start quite exciting because the opening batsman for St. Andrew, we know them to be stroke players. Anil Matthew, a former under 15, under 19 stroke maker. He's a powerfully built batsman. He likes to go after the ball, loves the ball coming onto him. And Nicholas Redhead, who's opening the bowling from St. George, he will certainly supply a great deal of pace.
Yes, Anil Matthew.
As we see, he gets off running, finding the gap between the two fielders there in the backward point and extra cover position. Bit of tumbling the outfield there by Chad Charles, retrieving the ball. So 2 runs to Anil Matthew. Is off the mark and running, and as we said, he's a batsman that likes the ball coming onto the bat.
Yeah, and a good confident shot, ball that he pushed square cover, and Chad Charles having to run back. He was able to pick up 2 runs. But yes, we expect it to be competitive. Teddy Bishop, who is the non-striker, is also a brilliant player, and I really respect at some high level of batting here today.
Yeah, certainly. Nicholas Redder is always up for one of those guys up for the challenge. Strongly built, some strong shoulders, some powerfully built gentleman. You know, he gets to the crease in quite a good time. His run-up action looks really smooth and sweet. And coming up against 2 talented opening batsmen from St. Andrew, it can be set up for anything better than what we are witnessing right now.
Yeah, we were making comments in terms of Redhead, in terms of his run up to the wicket, looks pretty fluent. As we look at him, be very fluent up to the wicket, and he been that disciplined and hard worker. We know the work that he puts out towards his game. So we are expecting him again to really put on a good performance for St. George's today. I think he have more or less everything right in terms of getting to the crease. It's important that he keep his line. He's obviously coming up against 2 batsmen that's pretty attacking, good stroke makers. So it will be interesting.
Oh, most certainly. We all wait in anticipation for the battle that is unfolding before us.
Just a bit carry the toss won by St. Andrews and elected to bat. Would you have gone that direction?
Yeah, well, St. Andrews, I think they're quite confident in the batting lineup they've got. I think if you look at the 11, I think you might say the batting is the strongest suit of the team. So they're feeling confident that, you know, get some runs on the board and they can defend it. On the other hand, St. George's, they got a pretty good bowling attack. So it's shaping up to be a really good contest between bat and ball here in the first half of the game. So they would want to make sure that they make that opportunity count. That to bat first on what seems to be a very good wicket.
Yeah, very evident. Redhead is aiming to keep the ball up to the bat. This one push young to mid on, but you know, I think it's important that just give the ball a bit of time to swing in the air. So he's making every effort to bring the ball up to the bat. The pitch itself has played well the 2 games yesterday, and one expect that it will continue to play even better today. And maybe it's probably the best decision to bat first.
Yeah.
On a wicket, you know, that still is showing a little tinge of green.
Yeah, as we see, not a good delivery from Redhead. Teddy Bishop correctly and rightly behind it, you know, defends it on to the offside, and I think that's the end of over number 1. A very good first over from Nicholas Redhead, just went for 3. He was on target with most of the deliveries, and if you analyze that Redhead over, you could have seen something a bit different compared to the first game where he would have spread the ball a bit over the place. But I think from yesterday and today, he's making a conceited effort to keep the ball a bit closer to the batsman and also pitching it up further and letting it do something off the wicket instead of just looking for his natural pace of a good length.
Yeah, with the exception of, I think, just one delivery that was wide off the off stump. You know, he was able to be his line was straighter to the batsman. It caused him to have to play on each delivery, and I think this is a positive sign, you know, in that he's not straying the ball about. It's 3 without loss after 1 over, as we see the Javel St. Paul going to pick it up from this northern end.
Yeah, St. Paul partnering Redhead for the third game in a row, and I think the Seamers overall from St. George's, they have done pretty well in the tournament so far. May not have gotten the volume of wickets they wish, but they have certainly kept a line and length. As some good fielding there from, I make it to be Chad Charles in the extra cover region there, doing the fielding, restricting the run. So I think the St. George's management and the coaching staff will be pleased with the efforts of the two opening fast bowlers through the tournament to date.
Yes, a confident shot by Matthew. He really was on top of this one in full control and played it crisply to covers, and Chad Child moving quickly to the left made a good stop.
Oh, that's a loose shot there from Anil Matthew. That one probably just held up a bit in the wicket, and Anil was probably deceived there by maybe the lack of pace in that delivery, but certainly a loose shot from the St. Andrew opening batsman.
Yeah, wide delivery there, and no movement of the feet, and it just flashed at it. Not really flash, but really push it back at it. And probably the advisable shots like that, you go hard at it. So if you take the edge, you're going to fly.
Certainly a nothing shot there from Anil Matthew. Oh, certainly a good one there from St. Paul. That time Anil Matthew had to get behind it and push it back to the bowler, and we see that it's after nine deliveries so far in the session. Certainly the St. Andrews batsmen, we know they like to get after the bowling and would be looking for that one which they can really lace into and get the ball trickling across the road. But so far the St. George's bowlers, they have been unsung. That one there played towards the offside there, and that would be Daryl Cyrus coming from the backward point region. It beat Chad Charles in the fielder in forward of point. They picked up 2 more runs, as Crony, I think the outfield still looks to be a bit on the slower side, and not the traditionally fast blazing outfield we've been accustomed to at the National Stadium. But it means that the batsmen would have to put more effort into the run in this match and the subsequent match today.
Yeah, a bit surprised that the outfield is that slow. Yes, we have been having a bit of rain, but generally this outfield is very fast. But as you said, we have seen for both days. Good shot there by Anil as he hit into the covers again, and picking up 2 runs under normal condition, that ball would have really raced across the surface into the boundary. Yes, a bit slow, which is a bit surprising. But both batsmen looking fairly comfortably. I think there's nothing much, some room being given there by St. Paul and Matthew hitting through the covers. Looks very, very confident, both batsmen, I dare say.
And that time he rocks back onto the back foot and pulls through the mid-wicket region. Excellent shot from Anil Matthew. St. Paul shot in length this time, and the tall, powerful batsman from St. Andrew just leans back and pulls forward of square, and that gets the first boundary of the inning. St. Andrew then move to 7. I make it 11 without loss after over number 2.
Yeah, good shot by Matthew. Short delivery again, and it tells you that even that that delivery seemed to just stop, and really was in position and hit it sweetly through mid-wicket for 4. We have seen Kerry over the last 2 weeks. We had the tournament started, and we look at the scores. Surprisingly, the scores have been pretty low.
Yes, there's been only 2 scores over 150 in the tournament.
Yeah.
Teddy gets forward to delivery drives powerfully, but can't beat the fielder. Probably just a little lack of timing in that shot there, and straight to Kem Charles, who is in the mid-off position. So Teddy would be looking to get his timing correct. So ball was there for the hitting, but he missed out on it slightly.
Yeah, exciting player is Teddy Bishop, and really get off. Really would be a joy. He's really a top class player.
Yeah.
Stroke maker.
After 2 matches, he's the leading run scorer in the tournament. 110 and a short delivery rush. Teddy Bishop. How is appeal for and he goes, as we are talking the excitement of Teddy Bishop, a shorter delivery from Nicholas Redhead. Bishop, certainly he would have been rushed into the shot there, as we see the replay. Nicholas Redhead hustling the under 19 talent from St. Andrew, and St. George's, they struck early. Teddy Bishop goes without scoring. St. Andrew 11 for 1 in over number 3.
Yeah, that's a massive blow. Teddy Bishop, who really is a main threat in terms of batting. Good delivery by Redhead. It was a quick delivery. I think he was really not in position as he was looking to pull that ball. Probably lifted a little more than he expected, and was able to glove it to the man at backward short leg, who took a very simple catch, and St. Andrews losing the first wicket. The score on 11 for 1, and really it's a sort of start that I think St. George will be happy to see the back of Teddy Bishop.
Yeah, and I know Teddy Bishop and Nicholas Redhead, they almost training almost every day here at the National Stadium in the emerging program, and there have been a lot of chatter leading up to that. So I know Nicholas Redhead will be quite excited to see the back of Teddy Bishop, because as we said, he can be a dangerous batsman, the leading run scorer in the tournament. He goes for not against St. George's, and certainly a big scalp. Strides to the middle. The man they call Shaquem Charles from Moncton in St. Andrew, he's facing up to Nicholas Redhead, and he goes first ball. Nicholas Redhead, what a beauty! Shaquem Charles came forward, peel off the outside edge. Cyprian Forsyth, he took it off the rebound in the first sleep, the lone slipper. As we see the replay now, Nicholas Redhead, full pitch delivery. Cyprian Forsyth, he juggled twice. Shaquem Charles goes without scoring. St. Andrew, they are 11 for 2 in over number 3.
Yeah, beautiful delivery by Redhead. As we see here, Redhead pitching on a very good length. He had to come forward, and it was a good catch by Forsyth, because the keeper would have moved to the right, and in so doing, he probably would have blinded him sort of, but he was able to hold on to the catch. A beautiful delivery and a beautiful catch taken in first slip there. So another major blue struck by St. George's, and St. Andrews 11 for 2. Is a dream start. I think this is a start that they would have been looking for.
Yes, Nicholas Redhead, he bowled really well yesterday. He was unfortunate that he was not among the wickets, but today he's certainly making it up, getting rid of Matthew and Charles of successful deliveries. And in come the captain, Daniel MacDonald, in a precarious position. St. Andrews 11 for 2. He's naturally a flamboyant player, but he has to certainly contain himself and look to rebuild after the early damage inflicted by Nicholas Redhead against St. Andrew.
Yes, well, and we were just speaking about the fact that the scores have been so low on a wicket that have been playing very well. I mean, early morning, you expect the ball to do a bit, but picking up these
Nicholas Redhead on a hat-trick, the ball to Daniel MacDonald, and MacDonald solidly behind that hat-trick delivery, and he pushes it to the fielder who is in shot in the mid-on position. So Nicholas Redhead, he's on song early on here at the National Stadium. St. Andrew 11 for 2. What a dream start by the guys from the capital parish of St. George.
Yes, obviously St. Andrews really would have loved to know that they have in the power play, they have the opening batsman, or lose probably just 1 wicket, but they lose 2 wickets. And the important scalp of Teddy Bishop really would have rocked them.
Oh, and that delivery just turned on the onside there. The field line shot mid wicket. I make that to be Kem Charles does the fielding. So Nicholas Redhead, he's certainly hitting the right lengths, and Crony, the over so far. I don't know if it was something that he would have tried to work out Teddy Bishop against the short ball, but the first ball of the over, Teddy Bishop got a shot to surprise him. He followed it up with a beautifully pitched delivery, which drew the new batsman Shaquem Charles forward, caught the outside edge. Cyprian Forsyth did the job in slip, and followed it up by 2 good length deliveries to the captain Daniel MacDonald. Slightly over pitch there, Daniel into the stride, opportunity for a run out on the non-strikers, and they complete the single. And it's 1-1 to St. Andrew. They 11 for 2, 12 for 2. MacDonald is off strike, but Crony, as we anticipated, the matchup is certainly turning out, living up to its hype so far.
Yes, a very good start by St. George's. I think Redhead has really bowled well here. Really been keeping the ball up. The short one that the ball to Teddy Bishop was a quick one. Really caught him in really no man's land. But as you said, followed up with 2 beautiful deliveries. and he deserved those 2 wickets that he picked up. And really is a sort of start that St. George will be happy about, and it therefore means that St. Andrews now will have to dig in. They will have to really try to get something going, try to avoid losing any other wicket before that power play finishes.
Yeah, so 12 for 2 as we see St. Paul. He will begin his second one coming from the northern end of the ground, the Dabo end, historically here at the National Stadium. And Daniel McDonald takes strike. As we said, Daniel is normally a batsman who likes to get after the bowling, but he gets a short ball, and oh my goodness, that is a disappointing dismissal from the captain of St. Andrew. Short ball, he was in no position to play that shot. All he did, he offered the simplest of catches to Kem Charles there in the short mid-wicket position. And Daniel McDonald goes for one. St. Andrew, they're making a mess of it. They are 12 for 3 after deciding to bat first here at the National Stadium in Game 7 of the NLA GPL T20.
Yeah, bad shot to a short delivery, really like a nothing delivery, and I think his intention was just to attack. And from the time he saw that ball shot, he just get back and try to pull, and really loved it to mid-wicket, and really is a bad start. We've seen a bad shot by the captain there, and St. George's really is really putting the pressure on. 12 for 3. We are only in the 4th over. Really good start.
Yeah, we would love to see, these are the players we'd have known for a long time being around the cricket, and we know the capabilities of the likes of Daniel McDonald. But when you see him getting out in such a manner, it really leaves you frustrated, because it's a really talented batsman, and as a captain getting dismissed in that manner, your team 12 for 2 in over number 4, you would want to play it a bit more cautious, get out of the dangerous pair of St. Paul and Redhead, and look to lay a foundation that your team can set an overwhelming total. But he goes, as we see another short delivery, and this time the new batsman Daniel McDonald, he beats the fielder there in the mid-off position. The ball races into the boundary for 4. So it's all action here at the National Stadium. Wicket followed by a boundary, and St. Andrew, they're 16 for 3, and they're certainly up against it here at the National Stadium against St. George.
Yeah, short delivery, and really could have just went past just to the right of the field at mid-on. Just was able to elude him and went down to the boundary for 4. Not a confident shot, and he's looking
Wow.
interesting batting there by Donald McDonald. Really just looked to be flashing at that ball that came off the edge and went down to third man. Really immature batting by McDonald.
The way he has played the first two shots, is it's all whether or not he is batting probably in the 15th or 16th over with the overs running out, but in over number 4, playing sort of loosely, flashing the bat loosely outside the off stump, get a big tick edge down to third man. He would certainly want to buckle down a bit and be a bit more cautious in the overs ahead.
Yeah, we need to see that the batsmen are a little more mature in terms of the batting. We only have we know in the 4th over, and really we have lost 3 wickets for 17 runs. We just had to buckle down and play each ball on its merit. I don't think that the pitch is doing anything unduly.
Another delivery there, pushed off the back foot towards the fielder there at backward point. That's Darrell Cyrus. He does the fielding, and there is no run. So St. George's looking to maintain this stranglehold on proceeding so far. We're 1 ball short of 4 overs, and they've already got 3 wickets, 3 big wickets. Teddy Bishop goes without scoring. Shaquem Charles goes without scoring 1 ball. Daniel McDonald, the captain, goes for 1. So the top 3 batsmen dismissed contributed a total of 1 run, and 3 of the top 4 batsmen scoring 1 run certainly is not what the batting team would want at this moment.
But that completes over number 4. St. Andrews winning the toss this morning as elected to bat. They are 17 for 3. And Kerry, I was making a point in regards to the scores that the teams have been making. And when one look at how the wickets fell this morning, probably with the exception of
Charles,
one will have to think that really is not a situation of the quality of the wicket pitch we are playing on. but certainly is the way our batters have been playing. In 20 overs, teams struggling to get up to 100. Really tell you something where we at in terms of the standard of cricket or even the quality of players.
Yeah, I think it's just about 120 deliveries, a lot of deliveries, and you can score a lot of runs, but you have to play the ball on its merit, and you can look to score 115 10 overs. You need to pace yourself, and teams have been going helter-skelter from the beginning, losing wickets and then forced to consolidate in the middle, and most times it's not been working for them. In the tournament to date, we've had 2 scores over 150. St Andrew, they got 179 in the very first match of the tournament, and yesterday St George's got 153, and coincidentally both games were against St John.
Yeah, well, these are the 2 teams that would have scored the highest total in an inning, and they are battling today. So one would expect that you would get some form of challenging total by the team batting first. But there again, we saw that 3 wickets falling and really some indigenous shots that have been played, and really it's giving us the feeling that they're not going to score much more than 100 if they do get 100.
Still a lot of talent left in the crease, the likes of Leon Callis, Darren Ned. Quite exciting batsmen, but I think they certainly want a foundation set as we see consecutive deliveries being flashed at by Donald McDonald. Nicholas Redhead looks to be making a conceded effort to keep the ball a bit short from the batsman, the other McDonald brother in the team, that is Donald, and Donald is just looking like fish out of water at the moment at the National Stadium.
Yeah, really bad shots played there by McDonald, lifting delivery outside the off someone. And really, you need to allow these deliveries to go by just to get himself in and settle and try to build a partnership.
And that one is clipped off the legs. The fielder down there at fine leg, that is St. Paul. He got wrong. Well, they're coming back for a second. They will be able to beat the throw. Excellent running there from Donald McDonald. Aggressive running, put the fielder under pressure and able to cross over for 2 runs.
Yep, ball pitch up on a pad and he clipped it nicely down to long leg, and St. Paul made a good effort. He had to move to his right very quickly and was able to stop it. And the batsman picked up 2 runs. Yeah.
Badly lined delivery in this instance from Reddit. St. Paul, he did well to get around. The ball was travelling at some knots. Got on wrong, but just had a little fumble. And the batsman were able to cross for 2. Oh my goodness. And Donald McDonald, he's charging St. Paul. The Redhead, the big fast bowler from St. George's, he doesn't connect well. The fielder at the mid-off position, he's able to retrieve the ball and restrict the batsman for 2. But Donald McDonald looks all business at the moment, and he certainly wants to get the action rolling.
Yeah, it's very clear that his intention is that he would attack, and he drove this ball back over the bowler's head just about mid-off and picked up 2 runs. Really never in control. The timing was not there, but I think it might be important to make some adjustment to the field based on how McDonald is playing.
And this time he goes for the almighty heave, just eluding the fielder there. That is Akeem Alexis in the extra cover position. The ball ballooned over him. Akeem Alexis running towards it. He was never able to get into it, but it's certainly a chancy innings so far from McDonald, and if he stays out there for 10 to 15 more minutes, it's certainly going to be more action and excitement here at the National Stadium. At the moment, after 5 overs, St. Andrew, they're 22 for 3, Anil Matthew is 11, and Donald McDonald is on 10.
Yeah, we certainly had to ask the intention, probably what the plan of the batting of St. Andrews. He had been flashing at almost every delivery, and that ball was nowhere near to play that sort of shot. He just swung at it, and he just went over cover. So really, it's a bit of immature batting, and one have to ask really what the plan, what the intention of St. Andrews in terms of the batting. I know losing the wicket of Teddy Bishop is really would have hit the team very hard. He's one of the main batsmen, and followed by the captain. But I think both batsmen had to settle down, and they have 15 overs to bat. Yes, he needs to settle down.
Yeah, 22 for 3. We see after 5 overs a change in the bowling. The young, exciting Tyrone Charles on the 19 prospect. He takes up the action from Northern End. Very smooth action. Rushes and he'll match. That is Donald McDonald. Shot delivery. He was not in a position to play it. Sort of got inside of it and sort of pushes it towards the fielder in the mid-wicket position. Ewan Jeremiah, he does the fielding and sends the ball back to the bowler. But McDonald, he is looking to really push onto the accelerator. The ball hitting on the topper portion of the bat, the previous delivery. And I can tell you, you have to keep your eyes open for the actions once McDonald is on strike. Again, looking to pull. The ball is not short enough, Crony, for that shot he attempted.
Well, it's very clear that he's going to play one way. He's going to play one way, he's going to attack. Whether the ball is there to be attacked, it's very clear his intention is that he will attack. You know, so something is going to happen when McDonald is facing it. Either he's going to get the ball to the boundary or someone, would be called upon to take a catch.
Yes, we see Tyrone Charles gets ready for another delivery. And that one is driven powerfully down the ground there. McDonald pitched up slightly. He was able to get onto it and laces it through the mid-on position. It didn't pass that far from Ewan Jeremiah, but all he could do was just watch him sail past him as a tracer bullet. McDonald, he moves on by 4. And St. Andrew, 26 for 3.
Yeah, lovely shot. Over pitch on as he moved forward and really hit it beautifully down to mid-on for 4. Good shot.
As we see, it seems to have a change in the field. Cyprian Forsyth removes himself from slipping to a short mid-wicket position, pushes him, and he goes for the pull, and this time he goes over extra cover, open up himself a bit. The fielder there is Akeem Alexis. He can't get his hands to it, and 4 more. Chancey looking runs to McDonald. It doesn't matter to him. His score moves on by 4, and the score moves on to 30 for 3.
Yes, and as we see, McDonald is just pulling away and really he's slashing that ball over cover and going down to the boundary for another 4. He will continue to play his attacking game. Well, if he gets off, he probably would put St. Andrews in a better position. But very chancy, as you said.
And he goes again, powerful shot. That time the fielder in mid-on is placed perfectly for that delivery. And Crony, all ball delivered to McDonald, one intention, get the ball to the boundary.
Yeah, very clear. He going to attack. As I said, the weather is a good delivery, but he will go after it. Now we see a long off being played, I think, and the mid-on. Long off on the boundary and the third man. These are just two fielders out.
Oh, that one there, it races to the batsman. The question is whether he was able to get up that onto it. He got some pads onto it, beat the keeper into the boundary for 4-leg buys. So a very productive over there from St. Andrew and McDonald. Chancey over, but the score moves on to 34 for 3 at the end of the power play. McDonald is 18 and Anil Matthew is 11.
Yes, short delivery. Again, he's looking to pull, taking high up on the pad and just went to the right of the keeper who was going to his left and went down to the boundary for 4-leg by. As productive over, 34 for 3. We had some 6 overs being bowled, and St. Andrews really would hope that this pair is going to stay for some time, maybe bat for maybe the next 10 or so overs, and then with the intention to probably try to see how they could push on from there.
As we see some spin, we'll have spin for the first time today. Daryl Cyrus, the leg spinning all around there from St. George's. He will be bowling to Anil Matthew. Cyrus, one of those development players. He's also involved with around the setup of the Windward Islands Volcanoes, and he certainly has a lot of talent. He's been successful in the tournament so far. I think he has 5 wickets from 2 matches, one of the leading bowlers so far in the tournament in terms of wicket taking, and he offers a different proposition to the St. Andrews batsmen at the moment.
It will be interesting to see the approach of McDonald facing the slow bowler. Good move to bring in Cyrus at this moment.
Cyrus, that one bounce and and turns across the right-handed Matthew. The keeper, he knocks the bails off just to remind the keeper, to remind the batsman that, hey, I'm here involved in the game. You got to be mindful of your feet in the crease. And that time is a short delivery. A bit of indecision there between the two fielders, but the two batsmen, but they cross successfully for a leg by. And Kearney, you've got your wish. McDonald is on strike to the leg spinner Daryl Cyrus, and it can be fireworks.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see his approach. No retaking his guard, probably take a leg stump guard, and one slip, catch in position.
As we see the fielder, we have two fielders. The fielders in long on and long off. They're back. We have a sweeper on the offside and a sweeper on the leg side. So St. George's, they're expecting the batsman to go big. And he tonks it down the ground. Clean hit there from Donald McDonald. He got to the pitch of that delivery, and in one flowing motion, hit straight down the ground. Sweet action there from McDonald. He moves on by 6. He moves to 24, and St. Andrew, they 41 for 3 in over number 7.
Yeah, good shot to a ball tossed up, giving some air, and hit it straight back over mid-off.
And he goes again for the expansive shot. This time the fielder there, that is Redhead, is able to do the fielding on the boundary. He can only get 1 this time, and after 7, it's 42 for 3.
McDonald 25 in a very quick time. Anil Matthew, who opened the batting, is on 11, 42 for 3, 7 overs, and this pair really is trying to repair the early damage that have been done with swashbuckling in 25 from Donald McDonald.
And the partnership is 30, and 25 of those is to McDonald, so it certainly shows. And I believe there have been 4 leg buys or 5 leg buys, so all the runs in the partnership was scored either by extras or McDonald.
Well, he's preparing to face Tyron Charles.
This time with the fielding restrictions relaxed, we see the field at fine leg is being pushed back to the boundary. So we have 4 fielders inside the circle, and everybody else is out on the boundary, manning the ropes. Rooney, that's a surprising shot, a defensive shot from Donald McDonald.
Yeah, I think it was a good delivery that fit right up to him, and he just covered up, pushed it back past the ball and ambled an easy single.
I wasn't aware that he had that shot in his in his array of shots. Good delivery on the line of middle stump. He came inside the line of delivery, pushes it back past the bowler. The field line mid wicket is a bit wide, cannot do the fielding, so he got a single down the ground. It's almost as Matthew. He's like a passenger in this partnership so far.
Yes, and he been an attacking player himself, and really the way that McDonald have been playing, he looked at a spectator from the other end.
Swings and swings well. The fielder at the mid-wicket position, he has to run back to do the fielding. So too is the fielder at long on. The batsmen, they cross for 2. So 2 more runs to McDonald, and he's certainly bossing proceedings at the minute outside in the middle.
Yeah, any room he have, he's going to play his shot. I think the delivery before, which he pushed down to mid-on, was a bit closer to him and didn't give him the room to swing. This one was more on the off stump, just give him that room so that he can swing that bat, and hit it through mid wicket, which was vacant. He picked up 2 runs. There's no mid wicket fielder being placed on the boundaries. Mid wicket, they're long off. Third man, and we have a cover on the boundary.
Oh, that time he's cramped for room ball, jagging back into the right-handed batsman. He has to sort of jab at it and keep the ball out. And very good delivery there from Tyrone Charles, making a concerted effort not to give any room to the batsman.
Yeah, I just need to use a bit of variation and have the batsman in doubt. And that one cut back into the batsman. So again, he was cramped for room and just had to push it down in front of him.
Full pitch delivery there from almost a yokeling delivery, which is hit down to the fielder at the long off position. That is Javel St. Paul. So one more run to McDonald. He moves on to 29, and St. Andrew, they're 47 for 3 in over number 8.
Yeah, pretty quiet period. This pair is looking to really take St. Andrews out of the hole. At one stage, 11 for 3. Partnership of 36 so far.
A good delivery there from Tyrone Charles to finish off the over, and it's been a quiet one in terms of the recent happenings. The second over goes for 5, and St. Andrew after 8 overs, 47 for 3.
Yeah, and both teams have played 2 games. They have been successful, and they are, to me, in a good position to qualify. I think they always want, both teams will want to win today.
Yeah, victory today for any of these teams guarantees them a spot in the next stage of the tournament. Both teams on 4 points. I think once you win three matches, you're guaranteed you're in the next round of the tournament. And I think to qualify, you may just need to win 2 matches to qualify. But these 2 teams, 2 from 2 so far, would be looking to probably win as much as they can. Oh my, and that one is hit high and hard. Nicholas Redhead runs in. Oh, he drops it. He had a long way to run in on the boundary. The ball suckling as the batsman they cross for 3, and Nicholas Redhead an opportunity to get the dangerous McDonald out. He drops it, running in from the boundary. 3 more runs to McDonald. That means 50 for St. Andrews is up 50 for 3 in 49 deliveries, 4 fours and 1 sixes, and a missed opportunity there from the big fast bowler from St. George's.
Well, it's not surprising that McDonald would have hit one down to long off. But you look at Redhead trying to take that catch, and his fingers seem to be pointing in the sky. I don't think he's positioned his hand properly to take that catch, and it just bounced off his hand and went out. Really a bad miss there by Redhead.
Yeah, he was deceived in there by the bowler Cyrus as he looks to tug that one on the onside. He comes off more of the inner portion of the bat, and the batsmen they cross over for a single. But whether it's in the over number 1 or over number 7 or over number 9, it's 1 gear right now from McDonald, and that is 5th gear at the moment. Nicely toss delivery there from Cyrus, and I think Rooney, in the past you may have been guilty. We may have seen Cyrus have been guilty a bit of bowling a bit the leg spinners a bit flat and fast.
Yeah.
And in this tournament so far we can see he's making a concerted effort to give it a bit more loop to slow up the balls, and which has so far shown to pose challenge to the opposing batsman.
Yeah, when the catcher was dropped at long off, there was one that he gave some air, and that last delivery there, he gave it some air, but it was difficult for McDonald to hit from there. So really, in terms of giving the ball some air, I think it's always important to give the ball some air.
As Chad Charles does some running on the boundary. Excellent effort there from Chad Charles. He had to dive over the delivery, got a hand to it to keep the ball into the field of play. So 2 runs saved by Chad Charles on the boundary. The end of another eventful over. A one in which St. George's dropped Donald McDonald, and after 9 overs it's 55 for 3.
Yeah, short delivery ball by Cyrus there, and really I think the batsman would have wanted to do quite a bit more with this delivery. Just hit it down to the fielder on the boundary.
Very good effort there from Charles as we see the replay.
And Charles move, just dive in it, just to stop it, just before it get into the boundary. 55 for 3. St. Andrews is motoring on, and this is because of 35 being scored by Donald McDonald. And St. Andrews hope that this pair is going to continue for a while.
Yeah, because they have even some more exciting batsmen in the Hud Buddy and Kalis and Ned. They're all known to be bashers of the ball. So they'd want these pair in the middle there to carry on maybe for the next 5 or 6 overs and give those free-flowing batsmen in the end a platform in which they can come and swing the long-handled willows. It's going to be a third over for the youngster Tyrone Charles coming from the northern end. Tyrone Charles, actually one of 3 Charles playing for St. George's, and coincidentally, not surprisingly, they're not related. Charles certainly is one of the more popular surnames in Grenada. Tyrone Charles actually is from St. Andrews, Kem Charles is from St. David's, and Chad Charles is from Grand and St. George's. So 3 Charles from 3 separate parishes representing St. George's today.
Yeah, it certainly is a popular name in Grenada. A lot of Charles. Tyrone Charles, as you said before, is a young man that has represented Windwards at the under 17 level, also Grenada at the under 19 level. A hard worker. A very quiet Andy Matthew.
Yeah, he's
Quiet by nature, a stroke player. Well, certainly the fact that they would have lost 3 early wickets, I think someone will have to dig in.
Yeah, I think
bat
it's up on him to bat the full 20 overs because, McDonald is going helter-skelter at the next end. He doesn't need to match him at the moment. He just needs to ensure that the wickets are preserved so that the team can lay a foundation to help post a challenge in total. Opens the face on that one, guides it down to the third man region for a single to get Donald on strike. 1 more to St. Andrew.
Yeah, sensible batting by Matthew. It's just steering this delivery down to third man, taking up the singles.
This is certainly the first of 2 big matches we have here on Super Sunday as we label it at the NLA GPL T20 match day number 4. And Donald McDonald gets behind that one, plays it onto the offside. Fielder close, Hakim Alexis in the extra cover does a fielding, no runs. So currently later on today it's going to be St. David. They're coming up against St. Patrick in what is certainly an important encounter for both teams. Both have played 2 matches, won 1, lost 1, and the 2 teams this evening will be desperate for a victory.
Yeah, very important game for each of the team. I think anyone winning this afternoon certainly would put them closer to qualification. So really is a very important game to both teams.
Most certainly, and the excitement is only just keeping up as Donald, he goes downtown, and the fielder, that is Jeremiah, on the boundary, probably would have had intentions of going after the catch, but he was able to drop about 10 or so yards before him, so he just settled to protect the ball from going into the boundary.
Yeah, dropped short of the fielder, really had no chance. But again, McDonald not getting hold of this delivery, looking to swing over long on. And the drop very short of Jeremiah, who was on the long on boundary.
Yeah, and some of the fielders might have been less experienced, and Jeremiah might have been rushing in to probably take the catch, and we've seen numerous occasions the ball just eluding them into the boundary. A very tidy over there from the end of a tidy over from Kem Charles in one in which 2 runs was conceded, and after 10, the midway stage of the inning, St. Andrew 57 for 3 after 10 overs.
Yeah, good over by Charles. He's now bowled 3 overs for 15 runs. I think he just got 2 runs in that particular over. So really, it's a good over. He kept the ball up a pretty good line, and then Matthew, who opened the inning, is still there and really is putting it head down as is necessary now. Having been 11 for 3, Matthew just putting it head down, and really he should be looking to bat right through the inning to make sure that St. Andrews is going to end up with a score, that sort of competitive score, and you would hope that you get some support from the other end. As I welcome my co-commentator this morning, Justin Hector. Good morning.
Yeah, morning, Raphael. And so for some exciting cricket, it's like even Stephen still at the moment. I don't think any team 3 wickets down St. Andrew, but they're beginning to to really move things on. And I think one really cannot say some work to do down in the deep and put down. The fielder coming around the from the long on position and a catch that really should be taken, and St. George probably guilty of just giving it away by the fielding.
Yeah, some casual nature there by Kem Charles coming around. He never give the impression as who he wanted to take the catch.
Again, this time swung down towards the mid wicket area. The fielder comes off the boundary and do the fielding. So really, at that level, we expect those type of catches to be taken.
Yeah. As I said before, I don't think he was really positive. You just move around and they could see sort of easily, and never get his hand in any good position to take it, and he just bunked out his hand.
Change of bat for Matthew McDonald. Probably blaming the bat for his lack of timing.
Well, he have been going forcefully, playing some big shots, and not all of them were really going. The timing was off, and that full toss, he probably should have done a lot more. Maybe hit it between that long on that mid wicket.
But he's on 37, and again straight down the throat this time. So once too often he went to the well, and this time that was redhead, making up for his previous blunder.
Yeah, this one was straight to him. He didn't have to move at all, And Donald McDonald, who really have been playing the way he have been playing since he came in, and that he was very attacking. And this time, a whole lot to long off. So he goes for 37, and St. Andrews are 59 for 4 behind over number 11. And St. George's striking an important blow. I think they had the opportunity of picking up that wicket, with a few catches that have been dropped. But they still be able to pull back and take up this important wicket.
Well, the bat which scored 37 probably was a better bat. He should have probably kept it.
Certainly, yeah, because this one really came off the bat nicely. And as I say, if he looked to hit the ball over the top, he probably would have cleared it easily for 6. But he just swung, and just went straight down to the fielder.
I think it was a smart bit of bowling to the length. It didn't quite give him the length to get underneath the delivery, so therefore he was just able to hit it flat.
Rashid Daniel, leg spinner, had picked up that important wicket, and his bowling is force over, 3 deliveries. Ball with a little bit of air, and hit straight down to long off.
Yes, so Calist is in there. And just had one delivery. Again, a well-flighted delivery by the bowler, by Daniel. And new batsman is Calist. Delivery called wide down the leg side, and rightfully so.
Yeah, ball down the leg side there by Daniel. A good take by the keeper. Yeah. He just moved to his left.
So it's 60 for 4. We're in over number 11. So still quite a bit of overs left in this innings. A full toss and not being able to get her. There is Redhead coming off the long off boundary and sending the return. Another singer. It's time to Callis to get him off the mark. And to bring, Matthew to take him on to 16. This brings Callis now on strike. 61 for 4.
Yeah, successful over by Daniel. His first over, picking up the important wicket of Donald McDonald. We see Matthew there hitting this ball down to long. A full toss, one thing that he should have done a lot more with that full toss. You have to make use of the bad deliveries. That he only picked up 1. So 61 for 4 of 11. I don't think it's the sort of stats that St. Andrews was expecting when they won the toss and decided to bat today. But still 9 overs to go, so it's quite a number of overs to go.
What we've seen in this format of the game is teams being able to recover because it's such a short format, and you just need somebody to come in probably and make a major score, a quick fire 30 or 20 or 30, and you're back on track. beaten outside the off stump, and appeal goes up, but the umpire says not out. And just a movement there for the bowler, for Charles, probably away from the bat, and had the batsman just groping at it outside the off stump.
Yeah, ball right up there, and the batsman, they just coming forward, probably looking to push it somewhere on the offside. They made no contact and was taken by the keeper.
This time, shot on the body, and the batsman goes through for a very quick single.
Yeah, good running by Matthew there, as he was taken on the body, and I think Andy Matthew realized that Kelly's maybe seemingly having a little difficulty. Matthew comes into strike now and really wanted to take the strike of which is the right thing to do.
Yes, Callis would need some time to settle in. Matthew has been there from the start, and it's important that he takes the brunt of it while Callis settles. This short and some work there for the fielder in the deep extra cover region, and he does well, but the batsman come back for a second delivery shot outside the off stump.
Yeah, good shot, played down to backward point. He was on top of it in full control, and played it down to cover point. The fielder, who's Charles, who is feeling at cover on the boundary, had to run to his left. Let's see, Matthew there just pulling away to get over it, and it hit him well down to backward point.
This time he's giving himself some room, and a smart bit of bowling by the bowler, and has the presence of mind to get across and shy. But it was always an easy single.
Yeah, easy single, but good work by Charles, because he had to move quickly, picked up, and really in one motion he was able to hit the stump. So it's good.
But positive by the batsman. It would have made been a little bit closer than we thought initially, but safely in the end.
Yeah, direct hits, always tend to be closer than we can see with the naked eyes. This time just throwing a bit in length, picking up a single just to the right of the square leg umpire. So this takes Callis to 2, 66 for 4. St. Andrew, and you still get the feeling, Crony, that whatever they would end up with eventually, they continue like that, would probably still make for a very exciting game. All the games so far we've seen, despite what maybe for the exception of 1 or 2, have been fairly exciting. The scores haven't been extravagant, but well, I was making a point earlier on that you look at some of the games and
some excitement there, as there was some indecision by the batsmen whether to go or not to go. Eventually they go. The fielding probably could have been better, would have put them under some more pressure, but in the end they didn't manage to make it through as a result of an overthrow. Yes, no, and Callis committing himself to the single, and probably the bowler had enough time to get back to probably closer to the stump.
Yeah, but and you find that generally you don't find bowlers getting back to the stump very quickly, particularly fast bowlers. But if he was able to get back, then he could have thrown it straight to him. But it seemed to be a norm now that the bowlers rarely get back, particularly the fast bowlers, to the stumps. It's 67 for 4. We have 12 overs, and St. Andrew really want to develop on this. As we were speaking before, the type of scores we have been having for the games, very low scores on a good pitch. Batsmen really have been doing very well.
Yes, so and he's bowled him. Had delivery thrown up very, very, very high, and Matthew will be really be disappointed with himself. Look to hit that somewhere behind square. Gronia delivery was tossed up on about off stump.
Well, this is a poor shot, really, really poor shot. Ball that was given a lot of air as we look at the replay. Ball given a lot of air, could have been, and he swung right across it. Ball that you could have come forward and hit on the full. You know, really, really is a poor shot, and this is why I think we are seeing the sort of scores that we are seeing. Is nothing about the wicket, but it really have been poor batting, a simple delivery to come forward and just stroke, and you know that sort of shot, you know.
You're not you're not stopping short crony of equating that with uh
Yeah, it is an indication, not maybe of a local cricket, but you want to say regional.
yeah, well,
regional
probably
games.
international games too.
Yeah.
We've seen similar type of dismissals and
Yeah.
mode of dismissals, and players at the higher levels suffer, really struggling with the slower bowling. Some of it I don't call spin necessarily, because some of the bowlers aren't really spinning the ball a great deal, but the
Are
fact
you-
that it's slow.
You're certainly right with that, because obviously that ball took some time. He could have walked on and struck it anyway.
It was good bowling on Cyrus' part. He did throw it up as the batsman to
Daniel.
Daniel, and of course he again, and that's what's, in fact, this is what is working in international cricket.
Well, you come back to
Well, that's
another
right.
important point. I always believe that some of our spinners tend to bowl too fast.
Fast, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
So there was a single hard and another, and this time it's played down towards long on, and there's another single. This score is 69 for 5. So we're in over number 13, and scoring at 5.62. Need to just up the ante a bit. They would at least want to ensure that they get at least 120. Wouldn't want to fall below that. And another single there to Ned. So Ned is on 2. Darren Ned is on 2. Extras 7, still contributing fairly heavily in I mean, 7 extras. And work again for the fielder down on the boundary at mid wicket, and does well. And it's another single to Calist. So he goes to 4. Ned is back on strike. He's on 2. 71 for 5. Just coming to the end of over number 13. And some work again for the fielder at backward point, but the fielder going back for the second, and probably a better throw, but it was hard, it was flat, and the keeper couldn't collect. So 2 more runs it was to Charles, to Ned, and that will bring up the end of the over. The end of it 73 for 5 after 13. And yes,
yeah, another successful over there for Rashid Daniel. He has so far bowled 2 overs and took 2 for 10. We saw Anil Matthew playing a terrible shot in that over being bowled. But again, you know, you think that, as we were making the point about the slow bowlers, it just seemed as it was creating a lot of problem to our batsmen. You know, you had to look up, you had to think. Anytime it calls for thinking, it seems as though it becomes a problem. But I think that's just one of the weakness of our batsmen in terms of playing spin. And as you rightly said, maybe not spin, but slow bowling. You know, really. But the display we have seen by the batters from the St Andrews team, you know, is nothing encouraging. Really, would have been very disappointing.
well, in fact, even what we've seen, as I said, from the higher level is not so encouraging either. Delivery turned away and cannot score. It is a cause for concern, though. It's a real cause for concern.
Well, it is, because we expect that the players are playing probably some of the better players in our parishes, and therefore we expect, you know, a certain level, but we haven't been seeing it. Teddy Bishop went early, and I don't think that wicket would have certainly affected the rest of the team when Bishop went, and nobody else looked very confident of playing since you have lost the first wicket of Teddy Bishop.
This one may just be slanting down the leg side. An appeal by Kem Charles.
He should have been on the front foot. Yeah.
So here again is Calist. This time wider side the off stump, and good bit of fielding, having to drop to his right to field that backward point. came to a very economical action. And the delivery, which will be signaled wide down the leg side, but of course you can be dismissed, you can be stumped off wide. In fact, it has become a very useful delivery in the shorter version of the game, where batsmen are looking to come down the track to attack the spinners. This time he wasn't really leaving his crease, he was just looking to a similar shot to the previous, where there was an appeal for LBW, similar type of delivery. And again, the follow-up is a similar shot to the one before. The only thing that he got a single, as the fielder at backward point had to scramble away to his right.
Yeah, very good work by the keeper though. I think he took it really neatly and picked up the wheel in really quick succession.
So it's 76, 75 for 5. We're nearing the end of over number 14. And there's 6 to go after that. I think if St. Andrew is to get anyway, maybe 120, they will have to up it. At that rate, they will fall short of 120. And the end of a relatively tidy over again. And these overs are vital at this stage in the inning too, Crony.
Yeah, both players seem to be struggling a bit to get the ball off the square. As we see the batsman, they're looking to cut, but no movement of the feet, and made no contact. But certainly they're just struggling a bit to get the ball away. We still have 6 overs to go. And they just need to push it around a bit, maybe wait until maybe the last 3 overs and see how much they can get, but we are not seeing that positiveness from the batsman.
Yeah, that's how it's all has to be calculated. What do you get and when you get it, in terms of and what probably the St. Andrew team think maybe a good total batting force here. So
sometimes I get the impression this again delivery could have been met on the full pause. I get the impression in terms of the plans. Sometimes the plans of the team or the directive that the batsman is given when he goes out there in terms of going forward, what should be done. They don't seem to show. They're not sure whether it's to attack or whether it's to defend. Whether we looking to get 4 runs per over, as the case may be. So I think a lot of time it goes on to the planning of the various team.
And this one gone high, gone long, and it's gone over the fieldsman at long on this time, and it goes for 6. So a good hit this time. Ned again going long as Daniel tossed it up, and he got underneath it and hit it long and far. It's a good shot. So this is what we'd probably want to see a lot more of. And this time, yes, and this time getting one which is tossed up again, but a much fuller length. This time cannot get underneath it and just plays it back up to the bowler. So they're into the 80s, 82 for 5. Ned is on 10, looking to swing that one around, another wide. It's delivery pitch just outside the leg stump, but positive intent. In fact, there was a mass expanse of areas just behind square. There's no one from fine leg right back to backward square. So for a comedy of errors there, and probably if he had picked up Alexis, if he had picked up, it would have been very interesting to see if he had picked up and hit the stump, what could have happened.
Yes, we saw a good shot in that over, hit for 6 again. Daniel, yes, toss. Again, near miss again as he came forward. And
just
ball went very close to the stumps.
Probably not quite judging the pace properly. Maybe a quicker delivery and ball just taking in a portion and bouncing over the stump, which shows that probably the hardness of the wicket. Crony, it's very good wicket to bat.
Yes, it is a really good wicket, and you want to see a lot more of that. A number of the deliveries have been tossed up. Really, it's deliveries that can be met full, because it's coming really slow, and but the batsman, probably does not want to leave the crease, and find difficulty in hitting. But we saw a good shot by Ned hitting over long on for 6, and that one he had room to swing the bat there, and he swung hard and hit it over long on for 6.
So there's 15 gone, so it's 83 for 5. So the final 5 overs. Just going at about 5.5. which is probably not quite what is recommended at this at this time.
I think they would be happy at maybe 135 anywhere around there. I think next 5 overs. They should endeavor to try to see how much they can get as Kem Charles continues from this northern end. This is another shot. This is another bad delivery that should have been put away. So there have been a lot of bad deliveries the batsmen have not been making use of.
One of the things, for instance, you just seen a delivery which was basically may have even missed the popping crease, the line, and the batsman in trying to get it away probably has missed a chance, one, and also a chance of the ball being called wide and getting having an extra delivery.
Yeah,
but we've seen that at almost all levels these days.
Yeah, it was wide off the off stump, but it was such a poor delivery that he had time to come across and hit it anywhere.
And then it was so wide, maybe that's why he couldn't hit it, because it was just too wide for anything to be done with except to be called wide. So it's another single, 84 for 5. Sometimes you wonder in the judgment of batsmen, especially in this form of cricket, you want to get bat to ball on almost every occasion. So even if these balls, which are normally so wide that you wouldn't even think about playing at it now, you're drawn towards it almost, looking to get the maximum all the time. Yeah. So another single down to deep extra cover. But I think at some time batsmen will start to come to the realization that when it's that wide, you don't let's play for the next delivery. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would think though that that ball was so short that you could have walked across and hit it. And I think that's the reason why you played at it, because it was such a poor delivery.
Yeah.
But generally, we have seen it happen, over and over again where the ball is very wide and
Tug pulled down towards mid wicket and single to bring up the end of another over. So at the end of the 16th, 86 for 5. Ned is on 11. Callis is on 8. And we go down to ground level. We have someone line up with Kerry Frank.
Donald McDonald, sorry. It's two McDonald brothers playing for St. Andrew. McDonald, they score at the moment after 15. Your team in a precarious position. You came in a difficult position. Enterprise in 37. How was it out there?
Well, it wasn't bad. My frontline batsman didn't do too well, but then I just went out there and just played my normal game and just tried to be on top of the game as normal.
The wicket conditions, anything? What was it like batting on it?
Well, the wicket is not bad. I think it's a batting track because the ball coming onto the bat nicely. And I think that I wasn't timing the ball too well, but then, it is what it is, and I did what I did.
All right, you guys, as I said, the score currently, you sit on 86 for 5 in over number 17. What sort of total you think might be a good score with the overs left to challenge?
Well, basically with the outfield and how the wicket is playing, basically 120 runs is a lot of runs here. I think that we could be on top if we score 120 runs.
The tournament, we see another wicket fall there. That's the end of Leon Kelly's. Caught at the short Todman position of Daryl Cyrus. So St. Andrew, they fall for the shot. 6 wickets down now. McDonald, your third game in the tournament. St. Andrew, they've won the 2 matches before the tournament. What are the expectations of the St. Andrews team for this tournament?
Well, we started on top, and I think we will continue on top. With Ned and Sherman inside, I think we should at least get 120 to 30 runs, and I think that we should come out victorious today.
All right, in terms of the overall preparation for the tournament, how has it been like?
Well, our preparation was not too bad. We didn't have a wicket to practice on, but then we used the grass and we train hard as possible.
We know that you guys are always involved in sports, especially those brothers, McDonald brothers and other young cricketers from St. Andrew. How difficult has it been over the last year or so with not much cricket being played?
Yeah, it was hard. We went out playing in Tatola for a club. We went out for 8 months playing, and I think it was great. That's the only set of cricket we get to play, but it was nice staying away from the game for so long. As you can see, I am a bit rusty and not timing them well, and I think that we should bounce back this year.
Versus St. George's, whether it's in track and field, football, cricket is always a big encounter. A club from St. George's or a parish from St. George's versus St. Andrews. How has been the excitement leading up to this match?
Well, I think it's great because I love to play against Coach Tim, Junior Murray. I like how he approached the game and I like how he chased team. So, I'll be coming big against him and try hard to defeat him today.
All right, well, Donald, we want to wish you guys all the best for the remaining match. As we see a big shot down the ground, Nicholas Redhead, he gathers under it. And oh, he misses it, and that could be the batsman cross for 2. So it's another drop catch there from the big man Nicholas Redhead, and St. Andrew, they survive as they push further on into the 80s. So Donald, we want to wish you guys all the best and for this match and the rest of the tournament.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, we go back up to our commentators.
88 for 6. St. Andrews losing the wicket, 1 wicket in the process there, and just another drop catch. Redhead again, we see very clearly in terms of the position of his hands,
and something that is really not expected from the man who is supposed to be the pro on the team.
Yeah, but it's pretty strange to see him in this position. I know that he does a lot of training at the stadium. He have been always with the guys training, and it's strange to see him taking catches in this position. Now, someone had to point that out at some point in time, but really he never looked comfortably. He never looked as though you take a catch, especially catch come from the top.
He took a magnificent catch yesterday, but he probably had too much time. Now today the ball did stay in the air for a very long time. I don't know if there is some wind. It doesn't look too windy out there, and he marked it.
Cyrus, it is. I just want to play the backward point, and that completes another over. 17 overs being bowled. Yeah. Just to check, 17 overs, 89 for 6. St. Andrews today winning the toss and batting. Darren Ned is on 14. Sherman Lewis not yet off the mark. And Kem Charles so far 2 overs, none for 5. Cyrus 3 overs, 1 for 18. And next 3 overs. St. Andrews will certainly want to get over the 100 mark, but again, it's have not been good batting by the St. Andrews team.
Yeah, about Crony on the captaincy of Forsyth, I think he's been quietly doing a very good job in terms of field positions and planning for field in terms of where the areas he exactly want the batsman to be hitting the ball. I don't know if you've been paying too much attention to that. Another chance and yes, out. So more problems for St. Andrew as another wicket goes down, and it's that of Ned was gone, and Sherman Lewis, who is there, he hasn't yet faced a ball. He's or not. Ned has gone for 14, 89 for 7. So is that 130 realistic?
Yeah. Well, St. Paul just came on, so I cannot see the slow ball, but it was a slow delivery, and there was Ned pushing at it, and really played obviously too early and just scooped that ball to mid-wicket. The mid-wicket fielder and Cyrus come in and take a simple catch. 89 for 7 again. You know, his poor judgment, but one should give St. Paul some credit because it really was like a slow-off cutter, and Ned pushing at it and was only able to play it to mid-wicket. So 89 for 7, and as you say, Justin looking pretty dicey whether or not he going to get 110.
Yes, and they said maybe 120. Just yeah, a shot of the clouds above. Lovely day, Crony.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful condition. There's the pitch is playing very well. The sun is not very hot at the moment, but a really cool condition.
Walk again for the fielder coming off the long on boundary, and a single. So 90 into the 90s. Lewis off the mark. Rogers, the new man in. That's Richard Rogers. And St. Paul will be looking to do further damage. Let's see, comes in to bowl to gain a delivery, almost what you want to call a toe crusher, and that's going away towards fine leg, and some more work for you feel that down at backward square, and so that's another single.
Yeah,
another two.
Yeah, ball right up to the batsman, Rogers, and he looking to on drive, came up I would think the outside edge and pass, went down to the long leg position, picked up 2.
And this one hit again high in the air. It hasn't gone anywhere. The keeper is coming around to take it and takes it rather safely in the end. So again, the length not quite there. It could have been another slower ball, Crony.
Slower ball, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a slow delivery. Looking for the big drive and playing too early. Just hitting the ball in the air.
Let's see if we can pick that up. Probably yes, just you could almost see the fingers being released from the ball and high in the air. And of course, the keeper has the right, the fact that he wears the glove, to take that. Although he had to stretch in a little bit in the end, probably not quite getting himself in the ideal position, but took it. So out goes Rogers, and in comes that's Philip, Jensen Philip. So the wheels are quickly coming off for St. Andrew, Crony. Or it has already come off.
I think it has already come off, But just to go back to the catch and the keeper there, you find most catches that is coming down that the keeper have to take. Again, they don't normally get, very rare to get in the right position. Most of the time they would have to stretch. But I guess it's because, coming down there, the ball will tend to move about and one have to judge carefully.
So they're coming back for the second. They'll have to worry. I think they will make it easily in the end. Not a very good return, just a little bit wide. But the idea was correct. Go into the striker's end, and but they got 2. These are the type of things that they will have to do. They will have to really push the fielders, put them under pressure.
Yeah, and that was the aggression we have been seeing with this. Besides McDonald, who would have played dashing and then took a lot of chances. Nobody else just seemed to be that positive.
So on, Lewis, looking to play the scoop over, maybe probably would have done much better, looking to beat the shot fine leg.
Yeah, with his ball, a slower delivery again, looking to get it over the keeper head. Made no contact. That completes the 18th over, is 94 for 8. St. Andrews batting first this morning.
One of the advantages of the better batsman in the world, Crony, is knowing where the fielders are and knowing where the spaces are on the field, and knowing what are the most high percentage shots that they should play at a given time. Probably it would have been better now to attempt the sweep, with the fact that the fine leg was up inside the circle instead of the lap, which would have only probably brought a single. But it's only another wide. So all of that will add. St. George's still need to be disciplined and not give away too much by way of extras.
Well, we see what have been happening with the scores. So even 95 or 8, it could be challenging when we look at what has been happening in some of the teams. So
very, very much
I think they have to be careful don't try to give away extra runs, but you will have to continue to play hard.
Because St. George's too can have some wobbles they have had in the past when you've seen them. And swish again outside the off stump. And we're hopeful the wicketkeeper appealing for a stumping. Batsman never looked like he left the crease. So 95 for 8. Probably a lot of probably way they would get probably would depend on how well Shaman Lewis go from here.
Yeah, but I don't see no threat really, and the wicket is playing okay, and I think even for the faster bowlers, it probably might be easier playing the faster bowlers on that track. So 96 for 8, 120, 130 shouldn't be difficult on the track, but again, based on the sort of batting we have been seeing, we don't know what is going to happen.
Lewis is back on strike. He's on 3. Philip is on 1. 96 for 8. We're into over number 19. So not a lot left. It will be interesting to see the type of approach Lewis will employ against Cyrus. Comes in on board to Lewis. He gets across to the off stump and almost trouble. And the return is not good, and the keeper was not very quick to react, but probably should have probably wasn't sure as to exactly where the ball was. Lewis,
Strange a shot by Lewis, an experienced player, and certainly he would know Cyrus very much. They train together.
and here is move. Another comedy of error which resulted in the run out. What really happened there, Gurney? Maybe when we look at it and you can explain what happened.
Well, the ball was played down to third man. We're probably going to see it. Either it was played, came off the edge, went down to third man. And there was Philip. He just took off.
So let's see. Yeah.
And Lewis didn't seem to
Right.
move.
So we missed everything. Picked up by the short third man. And nobody moved. We didn't move. In fact, the stump was broken by the keeper. He could have gotten back probably, but he was so convinced that he was out, and the keeper ended up having to pick the stump out from the ground because the bails were broken. So all of that, and it resulted still in the run out.
Well, it was Lewis' call. I would blame Lewis because he did move. He started to run, and he was seeing the ball from where it went. So he either had to call, say yes or no. But they both ran, and Lewis stopped, and really there was no return for. There was no return for the batsman because of where he reached.
So whatever happened resulted in the run out of Philip, and
lack of communication.
Yeah. So they even now the risk of not batting 20 overs, and they were not yet 197 for 9. Philip run out rather unfortunately, and it was really comical, all the events which finally led to the run out. But pressure sometimes brings that on. Delivery with the left hander just tucks it in the onside, and even so like there was no uncertainty as to whether they should have attempted the single, which was always there. So 98.
Yeah, that's Buddy's on one. That's strange that Buddy's
coming that late. Right. So heavy-weighted offside field. Of course, Cyrus being a leg spinner, and probably will be wanting, probably encouraging Lewis to look to go down the onside. Fielders are very tight in on the offside. And again, Lewis trying to go against the turn, a delivery just on outside the off stump and looking to play through instead of playing with the turn, looking to go against the turn and not making contact. Another dot ball and another over, ending over number 19. So with one to go, 98 for 9, and probably your guess is as good as mine in terms of where they will finally end up.
Yeah, certainly it doesn't seem that there wouldn't be much more for sure. But it's not a sort of battering, I think, that St. Andrews envisages this morning. But St. George's, on the other hand, would be very happy that they have been able to pick up wickets regularly. And just keep in mind that they would have dropped some catches also. So it probably could have been even a worse situation. But they will feel very happy at the state they are now, as we see St. Paul in the final over. And play to cover. 98 for 9, St. Paul so far at 3 for 18, and he's in his fourth over.
Yeah, what he's done though, he's a little bit of movement, some variation, and his ball relatively straight, fairly straight. Yeah, the use of the Yorker delivery.
Yeah,
that's
I agree with you. The whole aspect of variation, which is so necessary.
Yeah, and there was the Yorker again, and a return and a chance to. But Lewis gets in comfortably. So one more to Body, Jimmy Body, he's on 2 and 99. So one still expects they will at least get to 100, which would be a psychological mark. The fact that you get to 100, 99, even 99, you would feel less secure than if you make 100. There is St. Paul again. wide outside the off stump and cracked down towards the fielder on the deep extra cover boundary, and the ball was almost in the glove of the keeper, and Lewis was probably attempting another single. Crazy. So the 100 has finally come up. Yeah.
Well, you know, I did say early on, Justin, that at 11 for 3, that they would have struggled to get 100. You know, based on how they were batting, and it really
So
seemed.
will they chance the second now? Maybe yes, they
I
should.
think they
And
should,
they
yeah.
should get through with it rather easily, and
Good
they
running.
do. So good running and delivery. Didn't go very far, just behind square, on the just in front, just towards probably where a normal extra mid off would have been. And the batsman came back for 100. So, 110. I mean, eight runs in what, 2 deliveries left, or maybe not. There is the left-handed body and delivery, which is again played through. This time they will probably get 2 again, as they feel they're having to come off the boundary, and this time a far easier 2. So they're on 104 for 9. So maybe about 105, 106.
Just one delivery to go.
So
That's you see St. Paul going around the wicket to the left-handed body.
yes, just not giving him the room to free the arms and tucking it away. And he gets hold of this one for sure. High in the air, down over the fielder coming around and getting 6. So this time a bad delivery, probably going for the Yorker again. And over pitching the full toss, probably knee height full toss. And Jimmy Bonny probably just putting him off by the initial movement that he made. But a good end for St. Andrew, although the total, well, the 110 has come up. Although the total probably 110, you will feel might be inadequate, but cricket being the game, it is scrolling. It's
Yeah.
110 on the board.
Yeah, good shot. As we see here that St. Paul bowling a slower delivery,
Yeah.
and Buddy with his movement before throwing him off somewhat, but a slow one. He picked it up well and hit it over long on to end with that 6. Buddy on 12. Sherman Lewis not on 410 for 9. Strange that Buddy has come to bat so late.
Yes. it's
Yeah,
been
pretty
one of
strange
the-
that he came in so late to bat. What the news is, St. Andrews won the toss today and elected to bat. After 20 overs, they're 110 for 9. Top score of 37 from Donald McDonald. And we have seen the wickets in the wicket column. We have seen Nicholas Redder 2 for 9, Javel St. Paul 3 for 30. And the 1 for 21 is Cyrus and Daniel taking up 2 for 18 in 3 overs. Really, St. Andrews would have played pretty well today. As we are about to go down on the field. I think Kerry, who you have someone down there. Kerry, over to you. Kerry just about to speak to one of the players on the field. So over to Kerry.
All right, we're here on the boundary ropes with Richard Daniel, one of the star performers in the innings for St. George's. He had 2 for 18 of 3 overs. Richard Daniel, first of all, congratulations on your performance. 3 for 18, certainly a good day with the ball.
Yes, it was, and thank you very much.
You guys restricted St. Andrew to 110. How was the effort in terms of what you guys put out to restrict them to such a total?
It was a pretty well effort, I would say. We did a great job. Just a few slight errors in the field, but we kept the energy up and we restricted them to a reasonably fair total.
You came in at a period of time when there was a partnership between Anil Matthew and Donald McDonald. You were responsible for dismissing both of them. Was it a bit of challenge coming on to that at that time and bowl, or were you excited at the prospect of bowling to 2 of the top batsmen in the squad?
Yes, I'd say I was excited. I stuck to the basics. I kept things simple and I didn't try anything out of the ordinary. I let the batsmen make the mistakes and I got both of their wickets.
All right, so 111 guys, you think that's a total you should be able to overhaul quite comfortably?
Yes, we'll go out there positively and we'll get the target at hand.
All right, so that was Richard Daniel, one of the star bowlers in the innings, 3 for 18, 2 for 18 of his 3 overs, with helping restricting Andrew to 110. We take you back up to our commentators.
Important to hear Daniel said that, you stick to the basics. And sometimes, most of our players, we try to do so many things that we forget the basics. And I think he was right when he said that. He allowed the batsman to make the mistakes. And generally, that really is what happened in terms of him just the basic put it there, and the batsman made the mistakes.
Yes, and generally, that has been the case in cricket, especially in the shorter form. Errors are made by batsmen because everything is about a race against time, having to score runs in a short period of time. Well, that is the situation here, Crony. 111 St. George will have to get when they took the turn to bat. So the players are just about warming up, and at the end of that, we will probably take a short break, and we will be back for the start of the St. George reply.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more.
With more money,
to the jackpot galore.
Play more,
win more, have more fun.
With more jackpot money,
Super 6 is my number one.
With the new and improved Super 6 team, the jackpot keep growing and growing
and growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Holy Natural Spring Water is a water for every occasion. On the field of sports, at your workplace, just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy Natural Spring Water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy Natural Spring Water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
welcome back to the National Stadium in Grenada, and rather for the reply to 110 made by St. Andrew, St. George, who is already, the opening batsman is already out there, Alexis and Jeremiah. They're already out there, and what hopefully will be a very exciting second half of this game. And of course, Crony, we can't predict what will happen maybe at the end of the game, but we certainly hope, and we still believe that the game isn't won or lost by any of the teams.
Yeah, well, as you say, we expect the competitive nature to continue. It's only 110, but what we have been seeing in a previous game, that even those sort of scores are very, very competitive. But I dare say that St. George's will feel very confident, having the likes of Akim Alexis, who would have done pretty well. I think he had a good score in the first game. We have Johan Jeremiah, who would have played at the highest level. We expect he's another good player. Hazard got some runs. So they do have players that we expect, would be able to put their head down and bat. There's no need to rush, but,
Sherman Lewis starts, and a delivery short outside the off stump, and Alexis just allows it to go through. Good pace, good carry, and not very often you see Sherman Lewis bowling from a northern end, Rooney.
Yeah, you're sure right about that. Normally tend to come from that southern end. Well, I think St. Andrews will really have to go on the attack, in my view, try to pick up all the wickets. They started one slip, fielder on the third man boundary, a backward point cover, extra cover, and a mid-off. So pack offside field, and working up some pace there.
Yes.
We got lift in delivery. They obviously will come out all firing, trying to pick up some early wickets. On the leg side is a long leg, mid wicket, and a mid on. So the attack really would be focused on the outside the off stump.
And more ideally, probably you want to see Sherman Lewis on this early stages forcing the batsman to play. Maybe that length, that line which was employed by St. Paul, where the batsman virtually had to play every delivery. I think that's what it would be most ideal. I mean, this short delivery is probably, yes, the batsman may not score off, but in fact a wide call by the umpire, and rightfully so. As I was saying, he needs to attack the stumps a lot more.
Well, he have to be disciplined. Yes, he's experienced bowler, played at the highest level, and one would think that you need to be disciplined in terms of your line. Yes, you looking for pace, but it's so important that you keep a good line. You do not want to give away any extra runs.
And much better, but probably still a bit too short. Could be probably another foot or a yard or so closer to the batsman, force the batsman to probably have to come onto the front foot.
Yeah, this is what you want. You want to have the batsman coming on the front foot, and any slight movements, give yourself an opportunity. Probably to pick up the edge of the bat, maybe get a caught behind or the slip, or even the cut back and get between bat and pad. But you want to bring the batsman on the front foot.
Alexis is fairly tall, and that the height is a little bit comfortable for him, and maybe a little better. This one probably pitch a little closer to the batsman, where the batsman are able to get a single. And in this situation, you want your best bowler to be picking up wickets early. And St. George's too will want to ensure that they know that if probably Lewis doesn't pick up wickets early, it will be far more difficult for St. Andrew to peg them back.
Yes, they need to be careful playing batting against Lewis in particular. That's probably the strike bowler. I see the most experienced fast bowler on the St. Andrews team. So you would not want to take much chances with him. He has 4 overs, so you need to just be cautious with him.
It's the strategy, the bowlers who are your biggest threat. You don't want to be giving them too many wickets. Yes, go on.
It goes back to your planning, which is so important in terms of what are the plans St. George's have. No. The batsman going out there, they should know the bowlers that they need to target. Who are the bowlers that they need to be very cautious with. And you have those things in mind, and you know your plan is that, for 6 overs you want to pick up 4 runs or 5 runs for over. So you have a small objective that you're working towards. The planning for the teams are very important.
Lewis has gone around the wicket and has an appeal for LBW. This is the type of length we are talking about, and we just shipping down the leg side with the batsman, the angle from around the wicket to the right hander. And most of this deliveries it's likely to be just pitching probably to just outside the leg stump. In fact, the left hander that's there.
So as we look at the replay, probably just hitting going down the leg side. But good delivery, and as we see, this is what you want. You want the batsman to be coming on the front foot, right? So you give yourself more option, more chances.
Indeed. This time will be called wide. It's wide outside the off stump. So just struggling a bit here, just all over the place, and that's not what the St. Andrew team would want their senior pro to be giving them at this time.
Yeah, you would expect him to lead from in front. You'd expect him to lead from in front in terms of his line, in terms of his length. He's really being aggressive. He's running really aggressive. You could tell that you want to see something happen, and it just a bit needs some more control.
That's his cane called wide, too short, well over the head of the batsman. And I think we go back to the interview with the young man earlier when he talked about
basics.
Stick to the basics and allow the batsman to make their mistake.
Ill-disciplined bowling by Lewis.
So you bowl the hard lengths, and when you bowl, it's when you can do that, then the batsman will look up and say, "Oh yes, that's why, because it's Lewis." Yes, again much better, and you need to just stay around that area, force the batsman to defend, and finally get through the end of the over after a couple wides and a couple wides, which probably just took the pressure off a little bit. So at the end of it, Akim Alexis is on 1. Jeremiah hasn't yet scored. 4 for no loss. And that's all St. George need to do. Just pick up 4 or 5 runs and over in the initial, probably in the power play, and they should be there.
Yeah, it's 4 without loss at the end of the first over, and in that first over we had 3 wide. So this is an area that the bowlers will want to cut down on. You can't afford to be given extra runs, not only runs but extra deliveries, and to defend a total of 110. So one hopes that they'll just settle in and probably try to get it right as Daniel McDonald and pick up the attack from the southern end.
Well, if he does as well as he did with the bat, I think we'll be in for some excitement here. But he starts with a wide down the leg side, so another extra is already 4, and something you can ill afford when they tag it. Oh, it's not maybe. And what is this now? Another wide, says he lucky to get away with something that it could have been worse. Could have been called no ball. So almost an over already by way of extra. So they're on 5. Extras on 5. This time probably we got away with this again. Just can't seem to find
just looking to pull a short delivery, looking to pull and just staying down a bit. Another short delivery.
Yes, played up towards long on, and there is another single. So really gifting St. George's some runs that they do not have in the bank, and 7 for no loss. McDonald, if he's not much you know about him, Grooney, in terms of practicing off spinner.
Well, he's not a big turner of the ball, I think he used quite a bit of variation, but not necessarily a big turner of the ball.
Jeremiah on strike, plays it over the infield and well enough, and that goes into the boundary for 4. So going over the top, there's nobody out in the deep cover area, and it goes for 4 in the slot, as you say.
Yeah, lovely shot over pitch, and he really lifted it beautifully over extra cover, and it went down to the boundary for 4. Good positive shot by Jeremiah.
Let's see. Yes, right there in the slot, yes. And feet out to the pitch of the ball and lifted it over the infield and away to the boundary for 4. So good start for St. George, and delivery this time outside the off stump. And Jeremiah looking to play it, so probably behind point and not making contact. So it's 11 for no loss. Over number 2. And this time a delivery much fuller in length. She's driven out towards Sherman Lewis at extra cover. Still 11 for no loss in over number 2. Nearing the end of over number 2. Down the leg side, and again that will run pretty close to the boundary. It goes into the boundary now. So a good over for St. George so far. At the end of the second over, St. George they're 15 for no loss, and certainly 2 overs probably that. In fact, it's not yet the end of the over. So yeah, they were wide and so in the over. So yeah.
Yeah, good shot by Jeremiah again, straight down the legs, and leg side field just having they are shrinking it. Backward shot, backward square, and he swept it over the infield and went down to the boundary for 4.
So the left-handed Jeremiah, very difficult in the power plays when there isn't much cover on the boundaries, and this time safely can say it's the end of the over. So at the end of it after 2, it's 15 for no loss St. George. Jeremiah is on 8-2 to Alexis. Extras are 5 and quite healthy too, and St. George in response to 110 from St. Andrew.
Yeah, Jeremiah would have been better off looking to drive that ball. He tried to sweep it from outside the off stump, but he could have come forward and hit that through the covers. Looking to pick the gap over mid wicket, and he made no contact as the ball came from the bat into the pad. But he seemed to be favoring that sweep shot, trying to take the off spinner over mid wicket.
This is a pivotal over, Crony. The mere fact that probably Lewis, the tendency, driven up back to him, the tendency, what I've seen from St. Andrew seemed to be that Lewis, whether it's by choice or by planning, always seemed to bowl through. Bowl is probably 4 overs straight. I saw it last time. Whether he will probably just bowl 2, give him 2 and see how it goes, and maybe if he doesn't take a wicket then hold him back. But with a score of 110, he need to pick up wickets up front, and Andrew need wickets up front.
Yeah, very important that he pick up wicket up front, and I think this is why, they would probably want him to bowl
They
for
may
a
be
while.
one
And
year
just
for
want to
him,
get
and
down
no. Well, the fielder was right back on the boundary, on the third man boundary. Alexis going for it. It went high, and he merely made a mug of it, and it went through his hands for 6.
Well, let's look at the replay to see where this right room outside the off stump, and Alexis was. Let's see, the third man, and touches and went over for 6. He was not right on the boundary, but I still think you would have difficulty on the boundary because it went high, and coming off the hand went over the line for 6. The positive thing here is that Alexis went hard.
Yeah, and he was looking to go over the onside. The ball seemed to have come up with leading edge, and he probably, at best, the third man fielder could have tried probably was to knock it back in place, save a couple of runs. That was not to be.
21 without loss. We are in over number 3, and Lewis in his second over. So far, Lewis none for 10, having 4 extras in his first over, now being hit for 6 over third man.
That's why I think it's a pivotal over for in terms of the. I think in terms of the game, the result. Alexis are really playing pretty well. I think the length is just too short. The chance came from a delivery which was pitched up, which Alexis tried to hit over the onside, and I haven't seen much variation. We haven't seen him go on to the shorter deliveries. Although we noticed that bowlers tends to use variation later, maybe down in the innings.
Well, I'm just looking at Lewis Bowl. You see him come back to the mark and he just pins and he move again. That sense of maybe concentration or focus, you're not seeing it. He's just running on bowl. He then reaches his mark and just turn and move again.
It's hard sometimes to read from. Maybe real and a full toss outside the off stump and cracked away. Yes, behind point on the offside. And it goes away to the boundary for 4. So really a full toss, not really not in control at all, Luis.
Yeah, bad deliveries, just hit down to backward point. Again, I don't know how hard he's focusing or concentrating. Certainly a real poor delivery. And Jeremiah took full advantage and hit it down to backward point for 4.
Well, it is turning out to be a pivotal over. 26 for no loss. And turns on top of his mark, and the left-handed Jeremiah gets one which is on target this time and turns it down towards backward square. They'll come back for the second and have it quite easily in the end. So good running also, and probably the fielder coming off the boundary was a little bit lethargic and allow the batsman to come back for a second. So more pressure on St. Andrew. 28 without loss. Akim Alexis is on 3. 14 it is to Jeremiah.
Yeah, a good positive run in there. This ball was played in there, down to backward square. And the fielder coming in and positive running by both players. So pick up 2 more.
And one saw Lewis throwing his head in the air, probably thinking that he maybe might have gone through the batsman, but that was not to be. But after 2 overs, Lewis has bowled 2 overs for 17 runs, which is quite a statement because from your main bowler, St. George probably will feel that they has done pretty well.
Yeah, and this is a bowler you would have expected to be the main threat. And as I said before, in terms of the planning, one would have thought that the players will know Lewis. Having represented the West Indies, most experienced, that you will need to be cautious against him. But he is the most expensive, really not getting it right.
So here is McDonald. And Alexis turned it nicely behind square on the onside. And there will be work here for the fielder from deep wicket. He comes around towards backward of square. And 2 easy runs again by Alexis and St. George. So they're doing this thing very easily for the moment. 34 no loss.
Yeah, another full toss down the leg side. So the bowling really has not been penetrative. A lot of bad deliveries.
And yet another full toss played down this time towards long on. Probably Alexis could have done a little better with that.
Yeah, certainly. Another full toss. I don't think it's the sort of opening that St. Andrew just really would have wanted. I think both bowlers have been bowling a lot of bad deliveries that really haven't been taken advantage of.
31 for no loss. It will be interesting probably to talk about the preparation of some of the teams in terms of how they prepared for this tournament. Again this time a delivery wider side the off stump, called wide by the umpire. 32 for no loss. But teams would have had some time to prepare.
Yeah, I think most of the parishes, all of the parishes would have had time to prepare. I think they would have had the 2 weeks before. Yes, probably sometimes don't have the pitch, but there's a lot of work that can be done outside of the pitch. So again, probably the nature or the style of preparation that was done.
off the back foot and can't time it this time. So it's 32 for no loss. Yeah. Alexis is on 12-14. It is to Jeremiah. It's McDonald with a short in stature. This time doesn't offer the length for Jeremiah to get under the delivery. Therefore couldn't quite free the arms and get it through the onside as he attempted.
There's no need for Jeremiah to force it. I think going at a good rate. Just need to play the deliveries on merit. Their last two deliveries, you're really looking to force it, looking to cut one which was close to him. And they see you looking to come down and really the ball is not there for the drive.
After 4 overs, 33 without loss, chasing 110, 111 to win. I think St. George's going at a rather healthy rate, just over 8 and over. If they continue at that rate, I think the game will be finished by about the 15th over. Your maths must be better than mine. Yeah, but I think it will probably, what St. Andrew need to do, and maybe it's always the case. Lots of wickets will pull the rate back and level things out.
Yeah, Rogers picking up the attack in this northern end. Left-handed Johan Jeremiah. Jeremiah is on 15. Slip backward point, cover mid-off, cover on the boundary. Backward square, mid-wicket and mid-on.
Short delivery, which is tugged down towards, in fact, straight over the head of the umpire. The umpire straight has gone barrel straight, as they say, and it goes away to the boundary for 4. So he probably didn't quite hit it in the area where he wanted to initially, but got it safely between the two fielders and straight down for a boundary. So all that will help.
Well, he got 4, which is, I think, is the sort of result he wanted. It was a bad delivery and almost a long hop, and hit it straight back over the bowler, said, for 4.
This time a quicker, flatter delivery, which is knocked down by the fielder at backward point. Lucky to get away with that too.
Yes, certainly. Backward point there, and there's a load of space there, a little to his left or to his right would have picked up another boundary.
37 without loss. Jeremiah is on 19, and this time steered away from the wicketkeeper and from the slip. The fielder from backward point came across to his right. This time not with a lot of power, but it did give the batsman enough time to cross for another single to take Jeremiah into the 20s. He's on 20. It brings Akim Lewis back on strike. He's on 12, 38 for no loss. And reminding you that this is in reply to 110 made by St. Andrew. So good one-hand pickup. Probably not as accurate a return as he would have hoped, he'd have liked. But Akim Alexis is back on strike. Rather charismatic individual, Alexis.
Yeah, and he's a former under 19 cricketer for Grenada. Also a stroke player, very, very, very good player. I think he would have probably went off the radar for a little while, but it's good to see that he has come back and he has been doing fairly well. I think he had a good score in the first game that he played.
Yes, good fella. Never short of a little chatter. He's on the back foot and plays one which hustle onto him and just getting it off the pad, but rushing into the pad, and gets a single behind square. But a moment of concern there for him.
Yeah, he should have been on the front foot. I think it was a quicker delivery that he went back to, and it came into him, and he really had to come down quickly on this one and play it out on the onside.
It's on 13, 39 for no loss. And again, it's Rogers, right arm off spin, and gone high and gone long, and this one has gone a long way, Crony. Very easy, one of the biggest we've seen so far in the tournament. The left-handed Jeremiah really getting hold of this one.
A massive shot by Jeremiah. He really got under this one and really hit it too. As you see, hit it long, over long on. He really swung it over long on and went far away, probably he reached 100 meters. On the bleachers.
Wow, that's one of the biggest we've seen so far. He's not a big man.
Some pretty good camera work there as we see that ball sail over the bleachers.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Yeah. To say this little man in cricket is just really pack a punch. 45 for no loss. Jeremiah is on to 26.
Yeah, I continue to see, Justin, that when you look at some of the players and we know some of the players' ability, the sort of scores that we have been making 100, really, I'm pretty concerned about it. You look at the batting outside. Here, the bowling of St. Andrews really is not as penetrative. We had the opening bowling of Sherman Lewis. Then we had McDonald coming a number of full toss and batsmen ought to take advantage or batsmen ought to bat because the bowling is not that penetrative to be creating all the problems that it's been creating. Now we are seeing Jeremiah is batting and batting freely, playing some pretty good shots. And I think this is what we would have loved to see of most of our teams and some of the batsmen who have played at a high level.
And you virtually could have heard the clunk from the outside effects microphone as the ball struck the bat. And again, just
poor delivery, another poor delivery.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Hakim. I mean, to be receiving that type of bowling at that level, and really, a set of full toss is not much control by McDonald. And 4 more to Hakim Alexis, takes him on to 17. The 50 is almost up, just one shot over the 50. And we're in over number 7. Number 6, just going over number 6. Yes. And it's going out almost 10 and over at the moment. And it's really, as I said earlier, only 2 things was always going to happen. Either probably St. George's will just, quickly get to that total, or if wickets go early, then probably there would be a struggle. But it doesn't seem like that would be the case. So 49 for no loss. Alexis is on 17, 26 to Jeremiah. Good opening start. Just what was required by St. George, chasing a mid-range total. Again, getting it on the full and driving it. The fielder has work to do from long on, comes in and does the filling and sends a return back to the wicketkeeper with a single, which brings up the 50. 50 for St. George. 50 runs partnership. And certainly it's been really run fast. It's about the most comfortable we've seen batsmen for the duration of the tournament, Crony. Again, gone long, gone far, and once again hearing that sweet song coming off the bat from the outside, from the outside effect microphone, and Jeremiah having a field day and getting one this time of the bowling of McDonald over long off and away to the over the long off for 6.
Yeah, good shot by Jeremiah Keane. He looked at the delivery, a bad delivery, and he took full advantage of it. Just went down and hit it sweetly over long off, and for 6. And really, you look at the spinner has been bowling there. There's nobody at long off, and we see the long on. They seem to be coming pretty wide, not straight but wide. So there's loads of gap. Anything that he plays straight is gonna go to the boundary. And
what is puzzling is you have the right arm off spin bowler to the left hander. This will be taking the ball away from the bat.
Yeah.
So you probably need to have the long off and not necessarily the long on. Ask him to go across the ball. Delivery. It's played late, so yeah, 56 without loss.
Well, it really is just one-way street. Certainly, I think the bowling is disappointing so far. A number of bad deliveries have been bowled.
So at the end of 6, at the end of it, 56 for no loss. Hakim Alexis is on 18-32 to Jeremiah, and St. George will feel that they're halfway there, and it's just left to be seen. Maybe if it continues like that, how quickly it will finish. Maybe we wouldn't be here for the 15th over as we thought.
Well, Alexis 18, he faced 16 deliveries, 29 minutes, 1-4-1-6. Jeremiah on 32, 21 deliveries, 29 minutes. He had 4 fours and 2 sixes. Quite a bit of boundaries have been scored.
Very high proportion.
But, you know, as I said before, a lot of loose deliveries, and the batsman would have taken advantage on some of those deliveries. Reed St. George's at 56 without loss, really in a dominant position. Just need to keep their head and continue batting, pushing the ball around. There's no need for rush shots.
Rogers to Alexis, who just turns this easily into the offside and into the onside. There's no run. So we need to find some sort of stop. We'll get some dot balls in, create some pressure.
Well, they would be looking to pick up a wicket, and I think that attitude we are seeing there from Alexis, I think, is the right one. Many a times, you know, the teams reach in pretty good position where there's no need to hustle, just play normal cricket, and they tend to lose it and give the opposition a chance. And sometimes when you do that, you know, you give them a chance to pull back into the game. But they would just have to keep concentrating, bat as they bat in, and take no chances. You know, if you are in, you're supposed to stay in and bring it right through.
57 without loss. Alexis had one more, goes to 19. So it will be Jeremiah's turn, short outside the off stump. And just ball delivery beating him outside the off stump. But we're looking to just push it behind point, not making contact. So Rogers again, this slog sweep comes out. This time it has gone straight out to the man at the deep mid wicket. He's played that shot pretty well.
Yeah. Not getting hold of that shot. Look pretty close there as he picked it off the stumps.
58 for no loss. They can do no wrong. So here's Rogers again, this time to Alexis. Alexis tucked it away through the gap on the onside. They're going for one. They will come back for the second, and so two easy runs. That's what you need to see. And Crony, we need to see that type of cricket at the higher level too. Remember the first game against Sri Lanka, we were 50 something without loss and going pretty well, and
in 3 overs.
And we lost the plot basically, and there was no rotation in strike there, you know, and we almost lost the game.
This is what I'm saying. We had a guard against. No, St. George have a very good start. They are really in control, and none of the bowlers is giving the batsmen any degree of problems. So they are well in. What is necessary that they need to continue going, continue batting, and don't give the opposition a sniff of a chance. That is what happened, I think, in our first game when Lewis, was going at everything.
So Jensen Phillip will take it up from the southern end, and he will be bowling to Jeremiah. 60 for no loss. Alexis is 21, Jeremiah is 33. And probably the chance here for one of these batsmen to at least post a decent total, maybe something in excess of 50. And
well, we had 150 so far in the tournament. Teddy Bishop at 79. That's in the first game.
Good work by the bowler to his own bowling. Total remains on 60 for no loss. Reminding you that it's 110 is what is needed by St. George. And this time probably just beaten there in the flight, looking probably to drive into the offside, and the ball coming off the inner portion of the bat and going out towards the fielder who came off the long on boundary. And a single again to Jeremiah, takes him on to 34, brings Alexis, who is on 21, back on strike. He's we're in over number 8, and a little bit wider side the off stump. Alexis, who is a fairly tall man, even so couldn't get to it. and it was taken by the keeper. Very, very wide indeed. And wide signal by the umpire to take extras onto 7. In these circumstances is quite healthy. And it's tripping down the ground, and another single down too long on. So 63 for no loss. Jeremiah is on 34, back on strike. Alexis has gone to 22.
Yeah, another full toss that was choked down too long on by Alexis. Alexis on 22.
Oh, beaten outside the off stump. There's an appeal for caught, and it didn't seem Crony to have, looking at the screen, to have played it. Just that it bite and turn quite a bit. As we look at it again, delivery tossed up outside the off stump. The drives and there's quite a gap between bat and ball as it went through. But good turn, good delivery there by Philip.
Yeah, good decision by the umpire. That ball really bounce and turn.
For the first time, some degree of vulnerability by the batsman. Delivery this time again wide outside the off stump, but not following up with the type of delivery after beating the batsman, Crony, and to give yourself a chance probably to pick the wicket up. There is Philip again to Jeremiah, and this time just beating the right hand of the bowler as it came across to his right, and it goes for a single to take the total on to 65. And 22 it is to Alexis, Akim Alexis. Jeremiah is on 36. And let's see. As Kerry Frank comes back alongside me. And really, it's been just a walk in the park so far for St. George. And another single is collected by Alexis. 66 for no loss.
Hello? Yeah, that's we see some actions on the boundary rope. We see there's some movements. The clouds are gathering in the sky. Some dark clouds are hovering about. It's the first time for the tournament that we would have witnessed such a scene. Preparations being made for the covers to be pulled onto the ground. And at this point in the chase, after 8 overs is 66 without loss, we see another change in the bowling as the clouds they start to gather to the eastern side of the ground here at the National Stadium, and it probably might skirt the ground in a few minutes, but we see Jamie Buddy, he's about to take the action up from the northern end of the ground. St. George is certainly on top here. The partnership between Alexis and Jeremiah is 66. They have been looking totally dominant outside there. Alexis 23 of 22, Jeremiah 35 of 27. And Jeremiah, a native of St. Andrew, he's competing against his home parish, St. Andrew. He's battling for St. George's, and he's certainly relishing that battle between St. George's and St. Andrew at the National Stadium.
Buddy delivery pushed up on the onside. There's no run as the drizzle intensifies. We haven't seen any major activity in terms of by the umpires. Play is continuing. As I said, yes, back towards the southeast of the ground. And the delivery which is turned away by Alexis again. There will be at least 2. They're going for 1. And they will feel the return comes in. But there is time for a second easily. And to take St. George's further to 68 for no loss. And 68 for no loss. And the Duckworth Lewis pass score is what? In fact, there isn't even a pass score here, but
yeah, 5 overs bowled, so that means the match is constituted if it rains out from this moment. St. George's, they're far ahead of the stage that they're supposed to be at, with no wickets lost after 7 overs. No wickets down. They need to be at 31, and currently they're 69 without loss in the middle of the after 9 overs they need to be 41, and at the moment they're 69 without loss in the middle of the 9th over. So they're certainly on top as we see the sprinkle intensifies here at the National Stadium. But the umpires so far they're unbothered as the action continues in the middle, and the preparatory team on the boundary they're ready to bring on the covers at the umpires beckoning.
Side the off stump again, steered down towards third man, and fielder comes off the boundary and send what a wild return and gives St. George's a second run or overthrow.
Yes, they can ill afford to afford to offer St. George's any extra runs as the score moves to 71 without loss. We're getting close to the partnership that was had in the first match between Alexis and Hazard. I believe they put on 78 for the first wicket and currently 71 without loss. So this pair is certainly backing up the actions from the first game.
Jeremiah on 37-25. It is to Akeem Alexis. And St. George's 71 without loss.
Yes, Hector as the batsman in the middle there. But both umpire Chetram and Mac, the residents of St. George's, so they probably would have a fair bit of knowledge. Obviously, there's some heavy dark clouds above, but they are allowing the action to continue at the moment, so they're certainly confident that the situation with the clouds will just blow away, and it certainly seems to be getting some clear from the eastern end, so that clear spot should be with us shortly as we see another wide delivery, sort of ill-disciplined effort from Jamie Buddy, conceding another extra, and St. George's all too grateful to accept it as he moved 72 without loss.
The area of concern normally at the Queen's Park here when it comes to rain is over the Dabo Hills, and it seemed to be quite clear over just in the back of us where the rain usually come from, and looking over to the southeast doesn't really bother us here too much. So I think the umpires are well aware of that. In fact, we're seeing movement now away from the covers, and the sun is certainly back with us. So
yeah, as you know, as was said, the sun is shining, the rain falling. That means there must be a wedding of some jumbies in not too far, some far off corners.
Yes, monkey married.
And
monkey wedding, yeah.
Certainly, the conditions are improving, and the prospects of victory for St. George's even gets even more certain at the moment. 72 without loss after 9 overs. I think we must really commend the opening pair from St. George's. They have done really well in terms of their partnership together. Akeem Alexis and Yuan Jeremiah, they seem to complement each other very well. They've run in between the wicket quite well, turning ones into twos, and certainly stamping the authority on this match. St. Andrew so far no answers to the pair from St. George's.
It's the thing about it is that you can only judge based on what you've seen and whether it's excellent batting by St. George or a bowling which was not as probably direct as it should have been. But again, good ball, bad balls, you have to put them away.
As we see a short ball pulled there, Alexis not timing well, but the fielder on the sweeper position comes off the boundary and make it to be Michael Dubisset to do the fielding. One more run to St. George's. Alexis moves on by 1 to 30-26, and St. George's 73 with four without loss. Need a further 38 runs to win here in match number 7. Makes it 37 as a wide delivery is delivered to Yuan Jeremiah. So 37 37 more for victory in just about 10 overs. Hector, the second match today, this is just off the first of 2 on Super Sunday. Should be another exciting one. We see a short ball from Jeremiah. He rocks back and deposits it long over the boundary on mid-wicket. Yuan Jeremiah is in a no-nonsense mood today. Anything offline, he's looking to capitalize on that. A big towering 6 on the leg side. Jeremiah moves on to 43. St. George's 80 without loss in over number 10.
Yes. Well, scoring at a rate of 8 just over in excess of 8, and we're certainly in a hurry to get it off. So they need only another 31 runs, and that shouldn't take too long to come at all.
Yes, Jeremiah in charge in glow. Certainly an exciting batsman, the certainly talented individual, and being opening the batting for St. George's, he certainly relished the opportunity to come up against his home parish, St. Andrew, here in the battle of the two biggest parishes in Grenada. Oh my goodness, it's Christmas in the month of March. Jensen Phillips served up a juicy full toss outside the line of the off stump. Jeremiah hit the ball in similar position as to the previous delivery, and it was like Christmas in March for Jeremiah. He moves one step closer to 50. He's 49 not out of 32 deliveries, 4 fours and 4 sixes, and St. George's victory certainly beckons for the men in red from the capital parish.
It was so almost from ball one. They look quite in control, and St. John Andrew never managed to establish control at any point.
It is getting to the finish line. It's in sight. 25 runs needed of just 10.3 overs as Jensen Phillips looks to rebound, and Jeremiah drives beautifully towards the offside for a single to the fielder down on the deep square boundary, and he celebrates his 50 well played runs to Johan Jeremiah. 50 runs of 33 balls, 44 minutes, 4 fours and 4 sixes. St. George's 87 without loss, 2 balls short of the 10th over. Certainly a top knock here from you and Jeremiah.
It has been a really from the top draw. He struck the ball pretty well from the start, and just looking to bring it home now for St. George. Just a matter of time.
As we see one flighted delivery on the line of Midland leg, Alexis turns it towards the fielder at 45. Not able to beat the fielder, and there is no run scored. So after 10 overs, St. George's, they've stamped their dominance on this encounter. After restricting St. Andrew to 110 in their 20 overs, they're 87 without loss after 10 overs.
I think one cannot underscore the importance of the knock by Hakim Alexis. He has supported Jeremiah fully, played the ideal game to complement that of the game of Jeremiah.
So it's certainly been a top knock from Jeremiah. The second 50 of the tournament in the first match against St. Andrew versus St. John match 1. We saw Teddy Bishop, he finished with 79, and the second half century of the tournament, Johan Jeremiah 50 not out, and with just 24 runs to go, his focus now would be to bring it home for his team, St. George's.
Yes, well, that should have been the focus. I mean, they're very comfortable.
As he drives beautifully. That is a glorious shot from Jeremiah. He came forward, opened the face of the bat slightly, beat the fielder there in backward point, and the fielder in extra cover. 4 more runs to Jeremiah, and it is certainly the day. And this Sunday morning belongs to Johan Jeremiah with his exquisite batting. Beautiful flowing drive through the offside. Jeremiah moves on by 4. He's 54. St. George's 91 without loss in over number 11. St. Andrews, they certainly look outside there. They're dejected. Shoulders have been dropped. Fielders, they are a bit flustered. I think they're just waiting for it's like a boxer in the ring waiting for that final punch to be knocked out. But with just 20 runs to go, I think that moment can come very soon. Another drive from Jeremiah. This time can't beat the fielder at the backward square region, but he still has enough time to cross over for a single. Johan Jeremiah 55 not out. St. George's 92 without loss in over number 11.
Well, the fat lady's about to sing.
I see her in the corner coming over the Humback Bridge here in River Road, and she's about to enter the stadium. The vocal cords are being warmed up to usher the end of this match, but certainly the St. George's batsmen, they have stamped their dominance here on match number 7. Another full delivery. Hakim Alexis can beat the fielder at mid-wicket, which is the captain, Daniel McDonald, and no chance for any runs. Alexis, I think, would have played his supporting role quite well to Jeremiah. Not looking to be too ultra-aggressive, but just get off strike and give Jeremiah the bulk of the strike.
Yeah, I think that's smart. You don't have to match your compatriot shot for shot. I think that's one of the things. That's how you build partnerships. That's how you construct innings.
And we get set to, later on today, St. David's versus St. Patrick's. Traditionally, some of the powerhouses in local cricket, and that matchup between the two powerhouse. Though St. David's may be off song, I think it should be still an exciting encounter. As we see another delivery watched outside the off stump there by Hakim Alexis, and the situation now with just 19 runs needed. They can be a bit watchful, leave a few deliveries. Still 55 deliveries left in the innings to get 19 runs. So St. George's certainly has the resources in their favor. So that's the end of the 11th over. St. George's 92 without loss. And Jeremiah, he's not out on 55. So too is Akim Alexis. And I think we must take this opportunity to recognize some of the individuals who have been responsible for the broadcast or the organization of this tournament. Sponsorship. We'd like to recognize the National Lotteries Authority for their support of this tournament, the Government of Grenada, the Ministries of Health, the Ministry for their sanctioning of the tournament. As we know, we're in a COVIDious period, and they've been able to grant the necessary clearances so that the Grenada Cricket Association can host this tournament. We want to thank the Ministry of Sports for their support of preparation and other technical support provided for the support of this organization. Also the Windward Islands Cricket Board for their support provided towards the staging of the tournament, and everyone who have been involved, the technical team at TNR Communications for an excellent job in streaming and coverage of this tournament. We want to say thank you. Our scorers, umpires, and most importantly our players, we want to say thanks to everyone, because without them this would not be possible. As we welcome for the first time today the goodly gentleman, Pastor Stevenson Worm. He had his religious duties to perform. He would have done that this morning, and he's now here at the National Stadium to enjoy some top-class local cricket in the NLA GPL T20. Darren Ned on for the first time today. He's bowling to Jeremiah, and Jeremiah opens the face of the bat, beats the efforts of the fielder there. The ball races across the road. Certainly a splendid shot, Pastor Worm, and from the short glimpse you have seen from Jeremiah today, he has certainly been unsung.
That's a lovely way to welcome me into the commentary booth. Lovely drive, opened the face of the bat, didn't try to hit it too hard, but the timing was exquisite and the placement was superb when between that point fielder and the third man, and it went racing across the turf down to the boundary for 4. Lovely, lovely shot that was.
St. George's inches closer to the 100 mark as the delivery is guided from Jeremiah down to the third man region. They cross over for a single, so he moves on by 1. He now moves to 60, and Pastor Worm in a score 97 without loss inside 12 over. 60 from Jeremiah in 37 balls certainly shows that he has had a dominant performance so far today.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is that you don't have to be slogging to score rapidly. It's if you're sensible and you're skillful. A combination of sensible batting and skillfulness obviously would make you a good complete player. And he's a lovely player, lovely touch player to look at.
Oh, that was a wayward one there. It's called wide. And I think at the moment the St. Andrews team, Pastor Worm, it was billing to be a battle between two heavyweight champions, a top of the table clash. But at the moment St. Andrew, they're running out of options here at the National Stadium.
Now, when you have a team, in fact, not losing a wicket, usually you'd find in 2020 cricket that a couple of wickets would have gone down, or maybe 4 or 5 when you get up to the 90-odd mark. But this is a splendid performance, not a wicket fallen. And that tells you, of course, the strength of this St. George's team and the quality of the 2 batsmen who are out in the middle, particularly Jeremiah.
As we see Akim Alexis, he's called for the helmet. That shot delivery there from Darren Ned probably just raised a few concerns on his part, so he preferred to go on the route of safety as Ned waits on the top of his back for Alexis. With just 13 runs to go, he would be certainly looking to turn on the afterburners to snare a couple wickets for his team, St. Andrew.
Yeah, you could still see him running in, charging in, and that's good. You know, there are many teams realizing that in no way they could lose a game, and then they get into that lethargic sort of body behavior. Well, he is really steaming in. I love to see that. Whether the game will be lost or not, still come in and bend your back.
Akim goes for the big booming drive, gets the inner half of the bat, and the ball goes down to the field line, the long on position. The score moves on to 199 without loss in over number 12. And Pastor One, we don't want to jinx it, but we are on the cups of probably the first century partnership of the tournament. And to see batsmen occupying the crease for a long time is always a beautiful sight.
That's good. And it augurs good for cricket, not just in this tournament, but cricket for Grenada as a whole, where you can have two players batting for long period. One of the things that we don't do very well in the Caribbean is to stay and bat for long period. Lovely to see these two doing that. Caught behind.
Oh, Pastor Woman, we have jinxed it. Jeremiah goes trying to guide that ball down to the third man region, gets a faint edge. The keeper Anil Macho completes the catch, but that has been the end of a fine innings from Johan Jeremiah. He goes for 60. St. George's, they've lost their first wicket, 99 for 1 at the end of over number 12.
Yeah, I think he'll be very disappointed with that shot. He played his role very well, played a handsome role. That was outside the arse, slanting away from the left-handed batsman. And in a very nonchalant manner, just sought to glide it down to third man. The ball took a thin outside edge, and the keeper did the rest behind the stumps. But he comes back to a warm reception, a good applause from his teammates. Obviously, he played it hands very well, lovely role, and he could feel very satisfied with a marvelous performance. And his team being 99 for 1, he would be very happy with the position that they stand now.
Yeah, it's the second 50 of the tournament, and certainly this has been one of the better knocks of the tournament. Jeremiah, as we said, it's really, there is some, what we say, a grudge match, St. Andrews versus St. George's. Jeremiah is a resident of St. Andrew, so to be competing against St. Andrew, certainly the adrenaline will be flowing, and he would have been pumped up to perform well against his home parish. He's certainly done that for St. George's, and he leaves them on the cusp of what should be a memorable victory here in the NLA GPL T20. As the new batsman Chad Charles faces up to Darren Ned. So it's the is that the end of the over? Yes, it's the end of the over. So after 12, 99 for 1. St. George's, they need 12 from the final 8 overs.
Yeah, well, it's academic interest really. They will get there with a canter. But it was lovely to see Ned, as I said earlier on, coming in and bending his back. Now, that should be the hallmark of every fast bowler. Regardless of the position of the game, that's what you're paid for, that you're expected to do. And you would never know when you would need that kind of bending of the back effort if it comes to crunch time in a particular match. And Ned, we see him really steaming in, bowling as quickly as he can. That's very good.
Yeah, as we see Buddy, he takes up the action. Alexis pushes it back to the bowler. He does the fielding in his follow through. So I think now with the dismissal of Jeremiah, the St. Andrews team would be looking to see if they can get another 1 or 2 wickets and make the finish as painful as possible for St. George's.
Of course, the St. George's batsmen will have other things in mind. They will think, well, just a few runs debarring us from victory, and we will have to stay there to get that.
Alexis again takes out the booming drive, doesn't time it at well at all, and the fielder at the mid-wicket position, he does the fielding. That is Donald McDonald. He would have played, you would have missed it, but he came in a situation 11 for 3, and he was swinging from the hips from ball 1, end up getting 39, which pushed the score to 110, but his innings was certainly one that was tantalizing on the eyes.
Yeah, that's good. The good players, they know how to change the game.
Oh, the opportunity for a run out from on the bowler's end, they miss, and now with the missed opportunity, they cross over for the single. A run out opportunity on the striker's end, so it's all going haywire outside in the middle for St. George's as the 100 comes up. 100 of 86 deliveries, 58 minutes, 7 fours, 5 sixes, 101 with 11 to go. That is where I'm going to leave you as I go prepare for the post-match ceremony. So Refa Crony would join you for the rest of the inning.
So goes with Kerry Frank moving out. Alexis and Charles. Alexis is 28. Charles is yet to score. So the run rate needed just a 1.47. The current run rate is exactly 8. And Buddy into his third over, none for 11, that is. Rayfield, hi, welcome.
Yeah, well, pleasant good morning, man. Good to see you, man.
Well, we've just gone past the 12 o'clock hour, so we're into afternoon now, aren't we?
It really has been one-way street. St. George's today would have dominated from ball one. I think that they bowl well. Well, I must say that St. Andrews batted poorly. They bowl well, and they really came out and are very positive in their approach.
Yeah, that's what you're going to do. You see, because in the 2020 format of the game, you don't have much chance or many chances for redemption. Beautiful delivery. He was pushing at that one. Should have maybe left that alone. The over comes to an end, and at the end of the over, it's exactly 100 for 1.
Yes, a very strong reply. Chasing 110 for victory, 111 at 100 for 1. I think it's a sort of batting that we expected to see even with some of the teams. That we were commenting this morning in regard to the low scores that we have been having on a good pitch, and just that our batsmen are not really concentrating and going on. But I think it's fair to say the performance of St. George's today, in terms of the opening batsmen, really have been a glimpse of what we expect to see in terms of the batsmen really putting their head down and bat.
Yeah, that's very important for the sport as a whole. Batsmen, they've got to learn to bat and to score runs, put runs on the board. And it's a feature that we've not really been seeing as consistently as we would like in West Indies cricket. Turn just behind square on the leg side and would get a comfortable single. So Alexis now goes on to what? Makes his total 29, I make it.
Alexis certainly showed a great deal of maturity. I think when Jeremiah was really going, he put his head down, never tried to do anything rash. And this is so important, that you have somebody that seemingly understands the games. And his role is really to steady, and he played very well.
Yeah, I was making the point, Raphael, that if you're playing 50 over cricket, or you're playing let's say the conventional 4-day first class match or the test match version, you have a lot of time to redeem yourself. When you're playing the short version of the game, the shortest version, the 2020 format, you don't have much time at all to sort of redeem yourself. So that's why you've got to get as much right as possible early. Opens the face of the bat. That's Charles, and glides it down to third man, gets a comfortable single. He's now gone off the mark, I think he is. It's now 102 for 1. But we've gotten good, lovely sunshine so far. Yesterday's match was a classic, beautiful cricket day, and today's absolutely no exception at all.
Yeah, we have been blessed with beautiful conditions, beautiful weather.
Oh, I love that. Smell the leather. I really love that. To me, that's what fast bowling is all about. You must at times put the batsman on the back foot. Oh, he had him dancing.
Yeah, it was coming back into him, quick delivery that came back into him. Alexis played it well, that he pulled out, he kept his eyes on the ball and was able to pull out of it, but a good aggressive delivery.
Yes, love to see fast bowlers bend their back. He's gone on a very long approach, maybe about 20 paces to the wicket. And he's got a lovely approach, sort of bustles past the umpire. And that was a slower delivery that Alexis just eased onto the back foot and played it carefully, just waited for the ball to come and glided it down to third man. Delivery which might have been about 130 kilometers per hour. Slow one. It was not necessarily well disguised. and Alexis played it out to third man.
Yeah, good macho batting by Alexis. Seemingly doing nothing rash, but playing each delivery on his merit. He has really put his head down and batted well.
Fields for that outside the off stump. Good delivery by Ned. What could you say about Ned, though, Rapel?
Well, as
I
you
like
know,
what I see about him, though.
well, as you know, he was very quick. Actually, he was called on the West Indies under 19 team. Actually, there was some issue with his action, and actually he had to go to England. He went to England to do some work on the action, and I think that he had to be off for a while and so forth. Try to get it right, but I don't think it went as successful as we expected. Again, it calls for discipline in terms of you do what you're supposed to do. So I think that was a concern. But he's one of the players that have been looked at from the West Indies board level as one of the players for the future. But as I said before, I'm not so sure that it went as well as he expected.
All right, we hope that we can. How many overs he's bowled? We'll check on that shortly. Wrapped him on the pad. There's an appeal for leg before. Not given out by the umpire. The ball goes down to a short fine leg. Must have been missing leg stump.
Yeah, it just seemed to be slanting down. We're probably going to see what the replay says, but it seemed as though you're slanting down the leg side.
Yes. Yeah, just go. I think it was a good decision by the umpire. Although he was in fact hit on the back foot around the instep, but there was a bit of in swing too, and that may have carried it just past the leg stump. They've got to hurry. Backed up there on the onside.
Yeah, I was saying that he's one of the players he really was highlighted. You looked at very early, and I think because of what they saw in him, they made it necessary to have him to go to England to do some work on his bowling action.
Well, I hope we could see him bowl the next over from the far end. Delivery that is turned behind square. They've hustled for one. They won't come back for the second. Yes, they will now. As the fielder came in there, just overran the ball. Just stumbled a little bit in the process. And maybe there was no need to attack the ball with such energy, really. Would have been one. Turned out to be two because he sort of bobbled it. Oh, lazy shot outside the off stump there by Charles. Maybe he should have just left that alone.
Yeah, good delivery by Buddy. Seemingly leaving the left-handed batsman.
Yes.
And Charles, they're pushing at it. Buddy is under 19 player, really talented player. I think he would have represented the Windwards at, I know at the under 15 level for sure. But he's one of the players for the future.
Yes, all of these players, they've got tremendous talent. I love the way that he approaches the wicket. He has a shot, in fact, down to backward point. They will come back for the second. The return comes in, but they get back home in time. So, let's say it has a slightly Andrew Russell-ish approach to the wicket. I don't know if you'll agree with me with that.
Yeah, certainly. I agree with you.
Yeah, does look a bit like Russell. Even his follow through and his actual top of the point delivery. Turned down to backward square by Charles. Gets a comfortable single. So the over comes to an end. And how many overs gone? Is that 15 gone, is it?
Yes, 15 overs.
Yes. It's 109 for one. So we will look to see whether Ned is going to come back from the far end, and I would like to pay much closer interest. Yes, he is in fact, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Right. So we'll probably get a good opportunity to look at his action, and maybe we can get replays after his delivery, just to see exactly what's taking place, what's happening with the elbows. but I really love his approach to the wicket. He's got a lot of energy and has a decent turn of pace too.
Yeah, certainly he has a real decent pace.
Right, so we're going to look at that, and then wide signal by the umpire. Then we're going to try to see whether we can get it in slow-mo and see what happens. All right, still this maybe just a little bit of cocked movement. It's not bad, it's not pronounced, but I could see why maybe there is this concern. Beautiful delivery, really lovely delivery.
Well, I can tell you that he played in the West Indies tournament in St. Vincent. I think it could have been 2016 or so. And I think I was actually a selector at that time, and there was a lot of store in St. Vincent after the tournament because he bowled quickly and he got some wickets.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
There was a lot of store after that, and we came back. He got onto the Windward's team, and there was a query in regards to some persons felt we should not have picked him, but obviously that was no job as selectors really. The umpires have the role to play, and we picked actually just a cottage 111 for 1. Actually the final run out of score they push on the onside, so St. George would have now won comfortably 111 for 1, and really it has been a tremendous victory.
Oh yes, it was an easy victory, set up nicely by, of course, the opening pair of St. George's in Alexis and Jeremiah. They both did an outstanding job. Well, Alexis turned out with 31, and Jeremiah was caught Matthews, the keeper of the bowling of net, for 60, 38 balls, 54 minutes, 6 fours and 4 sixes. And I dare say the ground here at the National Stadium is a rather decent size one. Akeem Alexis 31 of 41, 70 minutes, 1 4 1 6. He had 18 dot balls. In contrast to Jeremiah. Jeremiah had 18 and Alexis had 21. So St. George's winning, and winning by 9 wickets, 111 for 1, all the ones on 111 for 1, and Buddy 4 overs, no maiden, none for 17. Ned, who bowled quickly, 2.2 overs, no maiden, picked up 1 for 12. So the players are, in fact, the batsmen going off the field, and also the fielding team going up. But of course, the usual thing that has been done, where the players and official will, in fact, just after the game say to each other, well done, as the case may be, just greet and a touch of the shoulders or a touch of the wrist or a touch of the hands, as the case may be, and all in the very good spirit of the game. Yeah, things have certainly changed. It is no more the shake hand, but basically a touch, and it's good. I think it's one of the good feature of the game. Despite how competitive you have, what you are, you would have lost, but you're still going to greet the opposition. I think it's really a good feature of the game now. So Kerry Frank is just making sure that everything is set for the post-match ceremony. Of course, the Man of the Match award will go to no other person than Johan Jeremiah. That's not a teaser, is it at all, Raphael? Yeah, it isn't. Certainly. So Johan Jeremiah will take up the prize reward of being the Man of the Match, and he deserved it too. Brilliant innings. Yes, he played really played beautifully. Since the tournament has started, I've been longing to see someone bat, and we know that Teddy Bishop had a good inning of 79. Yes, he was probably the opponent of the less, but I think Jeremiah today really demonstrated the quality player that he is,
He played some tremendous shot. That 6 he hit over long on was a huge 6, probably about 100 meters. He really batted well. And we know about just about to see a little presentation of man of the match, and I guess we're probably going to hear from both captains.
Yes, both captains.
In terms of what they would have felt about the game. The pitch continues to play very well. Yeah, just putting things in place. Just about to see in terms of the quality of the pitch that we have there.
Yes.
Still today being the second day, we are using the same pitch. Which does still have a little tinge of green in it, and played very well. Shot making have been so good. We now turn over to the Kerry, who is now going to do that presentation to the man of the match. So over to you, Kerry.
Welcome to the poach match ceremony here from match number 7, St. George's versus St. Andrew. It certainly was a top encounter by St. George's, and we now have some presentations. We have some presentations backlog, so we're going to do the presentation for the player of the match from match 1. That is Teddy Bishop for his 79 versus St. John. Teddy Bishop 79 to date is the high score of the tournament. He had the first 50 of the tournament, and we witnessed the second one today. Teddy Bishop, player of the match, St. John's. Congratulations, Teddy. As we welcome the player of the match from the second St. Andrew victory, that was the captain of St. Andrew, Daniel McDonald. Daniel receives this award from the Vice President of the United Cricket Association, a miniature trophy and $100 cash prize. So we move to today's match, where we'll have the presentation for the man of the match of today's game, and it's no surprise the player of the match for his scintillating 60 really put the pressure on St. Andrew, Johan Jeremiah. All right, so we're going to have a few words with Johan. Johan, you had a few stats in the tournament, but today you certainly made that stat count.
In the first game, we just was trying to, get bat and ball. Then today, yesterday I played. I got a start, but didn't carry on. But today, I decided to take my time and to back myself. It's always about trusting the process. It's been a while since I played local cricket, so it's good to be back. I must say, well done to the organizers for, putting on such a tournament. It's always good to come back home to, to play some local cricket.
All right, this match obviously had some added significance, as you being a resident native of St. Andrew, playing against St. Andrew for St. George's in this big encounter. How was that? Was there excitement or was there anticipation leading up to today's match?
Not really, it was just, it's just another match, another challenge, so it's just for me to go out there and back my skills, it's always good to play against your past home team, I think that was an advantage for me, being able to play with some of the guys before. So, it was just a next challenge, and I just came here today and I just did and trust the process.
Johan Jeremiah is now the leading run scorer in the tournament. What can we expect from Johan in the remaining matches?
I'm continuing to, work hard, try to get big scores. That's my goal. I have a goal for this tournament. So my goal is to dominate the tournament, and and just continue to grow, to just developing as a national cricketer.
All right, well, Johan, once again, congratulations and all the best for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
All right, so that was Johan Jeremiah, the player of the match. Now we're going to have some words with Daniel McDonald, the captain of St. Andrew. Daniel, first of all, 110 was certainly not enough to defend on what turned out to be a very good wicket.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'll say congrats to St. George's, played a better game today. And I think that in the first, we batted first, and I think that the total wasn't enough. So I want to say well played to St. George's.
All right, the batsman, your brother, was the only one who really got some runs. Was it difficult batting early on, or was it just what you would consider maybe some loose cricket on your part?
Yeah, well, I'll say some loose shot he was playing, and he wasn't, the ball wasn't there for the shot. So I think That was the problem. That was the main problem. Some wrong shot was played.
All right, you also came up in the second half of the match against an inform you and Jeremiah, scintillating 60. How was the experience coming up against one of the players from St. Andrew, playing now against St. Andrew?
Yeah, I thought he bat very well. You know most of us, so he come out good today against us.
All right, so it's your first loss of the tournament. You still have 2 more matches left in the tournament. You have St. Mark and you have an encounter against St. Patrick's. What is the mindset going forward?
Well, we're going to take further step into our games, practice more hard and come out better on the other 2 matches.
All right, well, Daniel, we want to say wish you guys well for the rest of the tournament and all the best.
Thanks very much.
All right, so that was Daniel McDonald, the captain for St. Andrew. Now we're going to have a word with the victorious captain, Cyprian Forsyth, standing in his second match. Cyprian, everything seems to have went well for you guys today.
Yeah, we had our plans and we executed quite perfectly. First up with the ball, we stuck to our plans and we restricted them to 110, which was really good. I think the bowlers, they did quite well, particularly in the power play. Getting 3 quick wickets was an excellent performance.
Yeah, you talk about the bowlers, but it must be noted that you seem to have a very well-rounded and all-rounded bowling unit. It's not really up to 1 or 2 bowlers. You see, for example, today, Richard Daniel, he came in yesterday, he played today, picked up 2 important wickets. It must feel confident that you have so many options you can call from.
Yeah, it makes the job much easier when you have so many options. It's a well-balanced team. We have pacers who can bowl a new ball up front as well as come back in the death, as well as the spinners doing a good job on both days. It's a really comfortable feeling. Having to lead this team is a great bunch of guys and the spirit is good.
All right, you and Jeremiah, you watch most of it from the position of the bench. His innings certainly has scintillated, not one of the best of the tournament, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. Yuan is a great talent and he certainly showed that today, the way he stroked the ball, and he had excellent support from Akim Alexis at the top, so it was really good going.
All right. Yep. There's been 2 partnerships in the opening partnerships with which goes over 50, 78 in the first game and 99 today. So it must feel good as a batting unit. Your opening batsmen are able to get you off to good starts.
Yeah. When the opening pair starts like that, it makes things easier for the guys coming at the back. Guys can play more freely. When you get a sort of start, it really sets up the innings nicely.
St. George's 3-3. St. George is the team to beat in this tournament?
Every team is a team to beat. T20 cricket, anybody can win at any time. So you can't take this for granted. We can't ease up. We still have to come every game and start all over again and execute in all 3 departments.
All right, Cyprian, we want to wish you guys all the best in your match next week against St. Mark and the following weekend against St. David.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right, so that's it from the presentation ceremony. Victorious St. George's, they advance 3-3 in the tournament, and we get set for match number 2, which will begin shortly. Back up to the commentators.
Thank you very much, Kerry. And it's interesting that Cyprian, Forsyth, talking about having won 3-3, but not taking that for granted. And in the game of 2020 cricket, you're going to expect anything to happen, Raphael. So, all in all, it was a good day, and the pitch is being rolled now in preparation for match number 2. The tournament has, in fact, run very smoothly and very well so far. I'm sure that you yourself, being part of the organizing of the tournament, would be pretty pleased.
Yeah, very much so. I think we're very satisfied in terms of how the tournament has gone so far. I think the weather has been very good to us. I think the teams has shown a lot of commitment in that we were able to start, the games on time. Teams were here very early, so that in itself is a plus. I'm just happy today that we are seeing that the batters probably beginning to take charge of things, beginning to get into their own, and one hope as the tournament continues that we see good performances. I think it all goes well when teams compete and play well and play hard for the development of the game, and we're hoping that is going to continue.
Yes, so that's all we've got for now. We invite, of course, viewers and listeners to stay tuned. We'll be on hand for the second match coming up. It was an absolute pleasure bringing you the broadcast live and direct here from the National Cricket Stadium until our next match. On behalf of the rest of the commentary team, then you'll join us then.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money.
To the jackpot galore. Play more, win more, have more fun. With more jackpot money.
Super 6 is my number 1.
With the new and improved Super 6 game, the jackpot keep growing and growing.
And growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money
Natural Spring Water is a water for every occasion on the field of sports, at your workplace. Just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy Natural Spring Water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy Natural Spring Water, Grenada's purest bottled water.